Hi, I'm Rob, and welcome to HopZine Live Walk. This is the live stream that no one asked for, and with very little agenda, to be honest. I'll start off with nice lighting, then I'll turn the lights down for the mood. Hopefully, I'll be joined by some friends at some point. I mean, it's pretty off the cuff, really. I've got a couple of beers left, not much left in the fridge, to be honest, but we'll get into that. I'll try and remember by jogging my memory on a variety of online beer shops. That'll tell me what I drank this year, and I'll try and remember what I thought of them. I have just done a review, so I've got a beer on the go. I've got another one because this is a big lad. It's a big lad, and it is. All right, Rory, how you doing? Hazelnut dream cake for Azvex, which is a coconut and a hazelnut imperial stout, 11% ABV. So I mean, from watching all the pros, all the youngsters out there, I mean, this old dog's been doing this a long time, but you mean, I don't know. I don't know what all this shit's all about these days, do I? So from watching Harry, I just need to waffle on incessantly for like 3.5 hours on my own. Peter, got to overshare. That's it. Gotta, gotta be put it all out, pull it all out of the line. So I'm gonna do that. And who else does live streams on the road? Simon, I'm gonna ask you what you've been drinking. Who else does live chats? Craig. I can't say about about Craig. I'll turn my camera off once in a while. Just a couple of comments. So yeah, there's Rory saying that, right, Rory. And then he says, "I'm the new triple IPA from Daya." I lost it last time Daya on last night, I think, or was it the night before? That beer looks good. That you're on. Yes. Well, let's have. I'll give you a little bit of spiel about it, shall I? So, I mean, it looks the business. It looks great. It pours when it poured it, and the head was like like dark chocolate mousse. Anyway, let's have a sip and I'll talk about aroma. See the aroma. As you'll find with a lot of these things, they kind of smell a bit like wafer biscuits for me, anyway. And specifically, one's what you get from a Polish shop because they love a bit of hazelnut in a Polish shop. And I love a bit of hazelnut, but thing what draws it back for me, what ruins it a little bit, is it feels like to me that hazelnut as a flavouring is not very nice. I'm not saying this is unpleasant because it's not. It's all right actually. It's not bad at all. It's quite pleasant. But if anybody's had the hazelnut whisper gold, it's fucking disgusting, man. So, yeah, I'll give you a bit more details on this, shall I? Aroma, yeah, you get that. You get kind of like a bit of a, you get like a caramel, definitely. But it's all a little bit synthetic, and I'd say that's pretty much the problem with this beer. And I'd say that as well with the other imperial stout that they brought out, the peanut butter one. Bit synthetic. When it warmed up, much better. Early on, had a weird plastic thing going on. I said it's all right for me, as I'll mention, and later. Hopefully, hopefully I'm going to be joined by some others. Hopefully, I mean, I'll get Rory on later as well if he's still knocking around. I think Peter and Jake are around, and if Adam gets rid of his migraine, he might join us. Every night, Craig and Peter have been about this time been saying how bored they were, and I've been busy most of the week, so I haven't been able to jump on people's things. So I thought, hey, if they're bored, let's have a chat. Flavor wise, the prominent thing for me is like a burnt sugar, and I don't mind that. It does have a little bit of licorice. It has something that is slightly fruity. Maybe it's cherry. Maybe it's more blackberry. Um, is there like a tang, which we get that sugar's getting a bit burnt. That's what I'm going to say. I'm getting from that. And then the hazelnut thing is a bit synthetic for me. It's yeah. As I said, it's all right. It's not great. I've had some absolutely stonking imperial stouts as well. But that's to run alongside other more drinkable ales. And the other one, which you're going to get fucking. I don't think I've even done a review of this. I think I've done it live once before. So you might be getting a rerun. Actually, I have, and I'll still just drink it. So 3 diamonds. I could have had my last can of the Raptor beer that were what I was on. Had nothing to do with the brewing. They just put a little character, a little bit like me, on the can. Yeah, passion fruit IPA from Thornbridge. So let's get this opened. Oh, Peter's in the. Here he is. Hey, he is. Here he is.
Good evening.
Exactly. Speak of the devil, he shall appear. So I was just going to kind of go over, try and remind myself what I've been drinking over Christmas. I had 3 days off because my back's still a bit fucked. But yeah, as you know, I fucked my back up on Boxing Day, and so I didn't drink for until Thursday. But I've been making up for lost time. So all the beer that I would have probably wouldn't have lasted me until New Year's Eve pretty much got finished off last night. So was that last night? That was New Year's Day. Yeah, we still had some yesterday as well. So in the end, it kind of worked out, I guess, for the best.
There's nothing worse than running out.
That's it.
In general,
I'd had to
especially
go
for New Year's.
Well, I nearly, even for this, I nearly did go out, but yeah, my back wasn't happy about me potentially going to Geisley to get some beer, which would have been lovely, but I'll be fine. I'll soldier on. You know,
You'll be brave.
yeah.
Take one for the team.
So yeah, so I've got that. I just did a review of that. One of your local breweries.
Oh yes, nearly made an order with them today, but
it's all right. I mean, I'll probably go through some others. We had the Seagull King last night. That was really good. That was very nice. And I was going to do a review of it, but then I just thought, fuck it, let's just drink it. But I did do a review on Christmas Day of one called Monster Truck Taxi. That's very good as well. So they're best 2 ever from them, and they are very good. I'm not also absolutely outright. So I've just opened this Thornbridge I got sent a while back.
The name is.
Okay. So what are you on at the moment?
I just cracked open dessert in a can. Mama's blueberry pie. Not getting much blueberry, not getting much pie. It's just an imperial stout that's a little bit sweet. Really,
okay.
It's not bad, but it's one of those things, isn't it? I think that it's almost become like a bit of a tired series. The dessert in a can.
Yeah, I kind of got a bit over it, but then last one I had, which we'd had for a while knocking around, and it was nice. It was the barrel-aged pecan, pecan pie one, and that was really good. So just a few more comments coming in. We got Rory Lave says, I bought a couple of cycle beers for next week. Why next week? Red House 2 years barrel and Cuvée strawberry. Yeah, I've had we said normal Red House when we were in Nottingham. That was it. But yeah, cool, very nice. I got Kat Davison. Hi, Kat. How's it going? Chocolate and hazelnut imperial stout from Marble, packaged in November 2019, tasting good. Ooh, yeah, I know you are. Don't worry. Well, maybe I'll drop some wine gum tasting notes. Which actually reminds me, but when I last had a marble was a couple of weeks ago. The week before Christmas, we went to Manchester. Went to Marble, and had the barley wine, which was really nice. Sherry barrel aged barley wine, that was lovely. Red ale was tasting good. But did you get the red ale?
Yeah, I did. That was really I really like that. It wasn't like a West Coast as such because it's a red ale, but it was the closest thing I've had recently to capturing those West Coast flavours, and I couldn't stop thinking about it when I was drinking it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I guess they're one of those breweries that are still, well, I guess you could say that they are even though they're kind of a pioneer and slightly old school in that sense, but they still ramp up the bitterness, which is even fucking hell. How many West Coast IPAs I've had, even in the last few weeks, which have been nowhere near West Coast, and then that is really kind of it even takes me back. Takes me back to a more innocent time.
When life was a bit easier.
Oh, well, absolutely, in every shape and form. Oh, days before global pandemics, we didn't have them back then. But yeah, but then we went to Cloudwater afterwards, and their barley wine, which was part of the fancy Christmas release bottles, which was that had been aged in Madeira barrels. Not great. In contrast, just didn't have the depth of flavour. Just a bit. All right.
Yeah,
But I did.
I'm
I mean,
always skeptical of the bottled releases because on paper they sound amazing, but I don't know. There's just I preemptively think that they're going to be just a little bit off the mark.
the stouts are really good. I've had a couple of them. They are excellent. So I think it's bitterness is utile as the base stout to it,
Yeah,
and it's so it's a lovely thick and unctuous. I think it's adjuncts. There's like Tonka and everything, but everything just thing with Cloudwater stouts, the adjuncts are really high quality. It's like the thing with this, it's a bit synthetic,
yeah.
but with the Cloudwater ones, you can say they're buying really high end ingredients, and you can tell. And they're just everything's really well balanced, and the barrel wasn't too intrusive, but it played a really important role. So we had the port one on draft, and then when I was working on Christmas Eve, yeah, I worked until 1:45 on Christmas Eve. That I'm blaming that as the fucking reason why my back's fucked.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, 1:45. So I didn't get home until well after 1 o'clock in the morning. So and then I came home and had a couple of beers. You can't just shut off. Admittedly, we had been. I was allowed to have a couple of beers, and all my mates who were in the bar were buying fucking crazy shit. So like, I spent like £7.50, and like one of the lads spent 106 quid. Like, oh,
Jesus.
fucking hell, man.
I feel
Yeah,
guilty spending that much over like a month on beer.
I'm guilty spending that much, less than that on a pair of jeans, which are probably going to last me like fucking 3 years. 75 £75 for a pair of jeans. Oh, I'll an hour over that forever.
I'll go somewhere else, thank you.
I'll hang on until sales. Just a couple more comments while they're coming in thick and fast. And would say Asling or Ailing? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if it's Aslin. I think in my reviews I've said Aslin just because of
15% Imperial Small Stout. Oh, and feel your teeth rotting from here, Rory.
oh god, especially with it being American as well. They will ramp up the adjuncts in that.
I've got the Venerable can
Cheers,
be
Craig.
reviews. I did catch a bit of you and Craig on New Year's. I think one of the multiple times I got up in night on New Year's Eve. Went to bed at like 3 o'clock in the morning. It was fucking ridiculous. There was no reason for it. It was just me and Becky here.
Yeah.
No reason why we were still up at 3 o'clock. That's why I've got fuck all left today. That's why I'm on old Thornbridge beers I was given in like 4 months ago.
Well, it sounds a lot better than what I've got to tide me over.
Oh, beer messy and a
I've
Peaky
got
Blinder.
no hops, and I've got a can of brewed by Numbers 19 Solero in the windowsill with the window open so it can chill down a little bit.
Yeah. It's not that cold.
I know it's windy though. It's very windy here, but it's comfortable just going out in a shirt and a t-shirt.
It is, yeah.
Pants optional, but
Yeah. put on a show. But yeah, I did catch a bit of you and Craig on New Year's Eve. It was fun. Don't know where Craig was. He was outside somewhere. And then, right, and as if Greg's still on, I hope he is, because I've got a couple of things to say to Greg, and it's all nice. So please do hang around if you're there, Bowman. Best beer I drank over Christmas was the Emperor barley wine from Wonder Beyond. Oh, all right. See, as my other half is the queen of barley wine. We have had we have quite a lot of barley wines. It's like a weekly basis. Most weeks we'll have a barley wine. And for a birthday, I got a fuckload. So we're still working our way through that. We had a really nice one. We had one last night, actually. It was from Jackie O's. It was a blend of a wheat wine and imperial stout. Amazing.
Ooh.
Called Cellar Cuvée, I think. That was very nice. But yes, so if Greg, while you're there, if you're still there, is he still there? I don't know. When I found myself in Tesco's a couple of weeks back, and just because I'm bored shitless, I'll go to buy Christmas presents at Smith's next door toy shop, and I popped in Tesco's for a bit of shufty. Yeah, I had a look at beer aisle in Tesco's, see what there is. And now I'm like, oh, look at this! Oh, there's this bunk. Oh, it's the Omnipolar Buxton beer. There's Northern Monk. I picked them up, and there were Cloudwater West Coast IPA. I thought, all right, well, it's Cloudwater brewed at Brewdog. Huh, maybe they can actually do West Coast, that combination. So I'm kind of picking up these beers. I'm thinking, that's 12, that's 13 quid for those three. Those stouts were £5 a pop. Are they any good? So I got my headphones in, got on YouTube, got a new fucking Bullman who reviewed everything that's ever been in a supermarket. Yeah. So he's the man to go to. He's the port of call. So I jumped on there and watched his reviews as I kind of like aimlessly wandered around Tesco. It's a big one. Didn't look like a weirdo too much. First one, Buxton, like maybe not. Next one, Cloudwater IPA, definitely not. So you were like, if it's £2.50, it's not bad. If it's £3.50, no way. And then the Northern Monk one, and I'd left, but then I bought my shopping. I went, oh fuck it, I put them all back. Nah, it's not worth it. Too close to Christmas. I'm just buying them on a whim because it's like, oh, it's Monday. Oh, scratching that itch really. And then I listened to his Northern Monk when I was walking away, and I'm like, and then I actually, I wish I had bought that one because it actually sounded really nice. And then during that video, Craig, if you're still watching, he said some very, very kind things about my videos. So thank you very much. That is really kind of you to say. I've been meaning to leave a comment on your videos in question, just to say that and just say kind of like thanks for saying those like really kind things because I really appreciate it. So thank you, you bloody lovely man. So there you go. Yes, thank you. And if anybody sees this, anybody wants to know if any of those supermarket beers are any good, that's the channel to go to. Bum's Beer Reviews. Get over there. He's had them all. He's had them all before they're even on the shelves. He's got some fucking mystical powers. He gets them all. So if you want to find out if they're worth checking out, that's the place to go. Anyway, as we were.
But yeah, the Northern Monk one, is it Death Star Part 2?
Yes, that was it. Yeah,
it is a genuinely good imperial stout. I've had a couple that I've had on tap at the bar in Manchester and picked from the fridge, which haven't had the sort of flavour and quality that I've had. So for a supermarket beer, it's more than worth it.
Yeah, I think I'll pick it up next time I'm down that way.
I've got the Giant Haystacks left.
I didn't love it. I didn't love the I liked the Giant Haystacks when it was non-barrel aged. I think I remember, and we had that when I said after we'd been to Marble, then with Cloudwater, then with Track, and we did have that. Admittedly, probably a bit pissed by that point.
Yeah,
but
the Collective Arts.
I didn't love it.
That was quite nice, but I think
which was that one?
That was the If I Had a Soul, It Would Be Dead, which was peanut, chocolate, and banana imperial stout aged in Jim Beam barrels. But it was nice. But I would say, so far, the language barrier just just beautiful. I mean, I enjoyed it in the original can. I thought that was amazing, and I'm one of those people who I sometimes find a barrel-aged version of a beer that I've already had sort of loses something because of the process. But the barrel just added a bit more to an already flavoursome stout for me.
That's it. I completely agree, and I think I heard you saying that might have been on Craig's stream the other night, and yeah, I completely agree. You kind of hope that it'll add to it, but most of the time it takes away. Maybe there's something in that. I mean, if you really loved it, first off, like the straight up version, maybe anything but that. I mean, it's not quite.
Yeah.
If it doesn't gonna go way beyond it, maybe it just doesn't really kind of. But yeah, I'd agree that the language barrier was very good. Barrel aged fish and that, as Greg also said, I prefer track Sunday stout to XS. Yes, we had the birthday one last. I think I had that last Wednesday. I think I had that. That was nice.
I wish I'd have picked that up actually, because it sounds like a good
I think
imperial stout.
I can still get it around here.
But
Optimus, you've still got it if you want to buy it online. And then he says, Greg says, finally got to track Manchester. Love the tap room. Absolutely. I'm trying to wheedle Peter to come with me to the tap room.
I'm gonna
I want to go
because
and for you. I want to go and
worker
go and
bastards for
record
not
that.
giving people holidays in January because it's going to be January sale period. But if I could get a Wednesday off, because I'm off on Thursdays anyway, so it works.
All right. Thursday. All right. Well, Thursday might be an option then.
All right then. Well, I'll inquire.
Thursday I
about
can probably
potentially
do
getting
anyway.
a Wednesday off, but if Thursdays are okay, I can definitely do a
swing a
Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah, I can probably do that. Yes, because it's just nice and to not be talking to yourself. And like when we went to track, when we went to Glass House, you can team up.
Mm-hmm.
We can brave a bench together.
Yeah.
Be like warn each other when we're going to step off it. Right, I'm going to stand up now. Brace yourself. So going pang. They're a posher version of the shit taproom
Oh
bench.
yeah, the
track.
shit was that bow in the middle.
Have you been?
I've not been yet.
Oh, right, because I knew you were in Manchester with your dad, and I don't know if you made it over.
We didn't. We just went to a few of the pubs. Went to the City Arms for the first time.
Great pub.
A lovely little pub. That had Cloudwater on cask, which was just a pale ale, but it was hit the spot. And but yeah, lovely little pub. I like those smaller pubs.
Yeah, it's a cracking pub. Full of character.
It is, although there was an annoying group of students in the corner.
Students. What a set of cunts. And Greg says, Bundo Bus Brewery tap room was good too. Not been there either. Might be a shout. If we double up on the Thursday, might be able to sneak some freebies on that because Mark, who's one of the owners of Bundo Bus, said, tell me when you're coming over, Rob. Oh, Mr. Derbyshire, as he likes to call me. And that we'll look. I'll make sure you're looked after. I'm not going to eat the food, but you can eat the food if you get given any free.
I don't know. I had a very bad experience when I was in Liverpool with Adam and Harry having the that potato
Vadapav.
Yeah.
One of the relishes is fucking rocket fuel.
Yeah.
I couldn't taste it for like 45 minutes after the last time I had one.
I think
it's one of them. I don't know which is.
I think it's because it was towards the end of the night and not many people were actually dining in Bunderbust. It just felt a little bit too greasy. So
okay.
I had a few bites of it and I was like, I can't continue. And then
it was the greasiness, not the heat.
There was a little bit of heat, but at that time I was, for some reason, just became paralytic for no reason after falling asleep in Brewdog. But yeah, the bottle of Augustina that Adam kindly purchased me perked me up a little bit, but I was like, no, I need to get home. There's no way I could go back to a hotel or Adam's house and drink more beer at this point.
No. Yeah, no, I'd be interested. I haven't tried any of the beers. I was a little bit skeptical to start off with. Like, I'll give them a bit of time to find the feet, iron out any kinks, and then I thought I'll give them a look out. But so that might be a shout actually.
Yeah, I just
So
want to I want to try that porter, the chai porter,
yeah,
because I know Ross, that was like one of
yeah,
his
from being
favourite
on, yeah,
beers.
yeah,
So I'm like,
it's a
that
beer of the
sounds good
year.
to me.
But he don't drink IPA anymore.
Oh, really? Has he
He
gone off
claims
IPA?
some medical reason. Don't know if I believe him.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I think he's lying. He's full of it.
Full of fibs.
um, yes, so whatever. Oh yes, so that was Bum saying that. Yeah, so definitely kind of like have a go there. I mean, we wanted to go to City Arms when we were in Manchester, but I think it was it was quite nice of like Marble, get taxi over to Cloudwater, and
Yeah.
then trains were a fucking nightmare. I'm not going to get into that till like fucking ever. We were like 2 hours delayed. It was chaos, so stressful. It was unbelievable. Well, hopefully that's got behind us now. Hey, there's Thomas Winterbeer of yours. Hello there, Thomas. How
Evening,
you
Thomas.
doing? So I'm going to have a look on previous on other Instagram pages of various bottle shops and remind myself what I've kind of had recently, which was good. And Peter, feel free to chip in on anything.
I think
So I just looking at Cloudwater recent releases. I really enjoyed Facade. Yeah, Facade on Soap Street. That was really nice. That's a single hop. Mosaic IPA. That's a lovely beer. I didn't. I had the Fresh Hops one, which wasn't great. Another fucking non-West Coaster, but that
yeah,
Soap Street one was nice.
I picked up a can of that from Tremor Madness today,
It's good.
and
Um,
the chocolate orange persistence is U-time.
yeah, I did want to try that at the tap room, but Becky were a bit like, I prefer to get that. I'll be like, okay,
Go on then.
let's have that one instead. I'm curious because I'm sure. I think if anybody's going to do a good one, I think it will be Cloudwater's part of that range. If you're into the chocolate orange thing, I saw it from Gravity Well on other day called Galaxy's Park. It's all right. Not a brewery I'm completely convinced by, but it was all right. The Dare and Beat double IPA was a stunner.
I
People have
picked
had
up a
that.
can of that. That's on its way.
It's good
Get
shit.
some nice hoppage. I was going to do a beak order, but I looked at the selection and it was very slim today.
That's it, innit? I mean, if you're going direct, I think a lot of time his choice will be really limited.
Yeah,
And there's a lot of shops that I'd have presumed would have been completely cleared out, but I mean, Tremblay Bandits has still got a good range. So I could still easily buy silly amounts of stuff from there.
can't remember what I picked up. I think I picked up a couple of Don Zoco beers. They're smoked
Okay.
lager, and the medicine that they did with, was it Daya that they did the collab with? And because I've
Don't know.
not picked anything up from them for a while, I picked up Smod's smoked Imperial Stout, or the smoked version of the Imperial Stout.
Oh, right. I think that the stout is what we had when we went to the tap room. The non-smoked version. Yeah, there's a couple of burnt mill. Jake, I thought Jake was going to join us. I don't know if he is. There's a couple of burnt mill Imperial Stouts. I'm kind of curious about, but they haven't got great reviews, so and they're about nearly £9.
Yeah.
So I'm not bothered with them. A bit of a kind of revelation for me since going to Edinburgh and has been Vault City. And I've had a bunch of them over Christmas. I had their what's it fucking called? It's got drink. Something dream cake, blueberry, something dream cake. That was absolutely stunning. Double dry hopped, had pink lemonade. That was nice. What did we have one other night as well? Some fucking silly triple chocolate blueberry summer. Just fun. They are quite fruit forward. I don't think they always deliver on the other adjuncts that you're expecting, the chocolate and bits and bats. But they're good. They're fun. It's fun, but it's fun beer. So I've had a fair bit from them recently, just because it was such a really good experience at their tap room, and it just made me think, yeah, beer's fun, innit? And so just drink fun stuff. Don't just endlessly drink loads of IPAs. He says drinking an IPA.
Yeah, I always try and avoid just spending money on IPAs, but that's what I predominantly buy, really.
Yeah, and but you're a lager drinker as well. I mean, so
Yeah.
don't you find yourself drawn to the kind of, because there's been a shitload of German stuff knocking around Christmas as well. Don't you
Yeah,
find yourself getting drawn to those exotic bottles?
There was loads on Trembler Madness, and because I was toying with doing a Rainville order, and they've got a big selection of German lagers, some stuff that you don't really see too often as well.
Oh, right, cool. I've seen the Augustina Doppelbock's been knocking around again as well. I presume you've had that.
Yeah, that's up there for me, one of the best Doppelbocks you can get, but a lot of the time it's like almost like £1 to £2 more expensive than most other Doppelbocks, though.
Oh, right.
But sometimes, I know, going back in about November, I think again Rainville were like selling their bottles of sort of like dead stock for like £1 a bottle.
Fuck.
But never took advantage of it for some reason.
Yeah, I've done it. I did a bunch of reviews on Christmas Day. I mean, this was my intention last year, was to drink a little bit more than I should. Actually, I didn't overdo it. I kind of got to quite a natural point, and it was the last review. Were like, this is probably going to be my last beer. So it was something a bit special, and so I'll probably release them as a week.
Yeah.
I think there's like 5 beers, and and everything was really good. Everything up to one point. I think the first 3 beers, at least maybe 4 beers, were all 6.5% IPAs. Like, it wasn't planned. Like,
Yeah.
fucking hell, this is 6.5 as well. But they were nice, and it were a nice variety. They were a nice variety of stuff. I had High from Beak. I'm just trying to remind myself. High from Beak. I had Tephra from Glasshouse. I always want to be like breweries that I like. What I've enjoyed in the year. I had that monster truck taxi from Asvex, which, I mean, it stepped out of the remit, because they're not a brewery that I've enjoyed this year. But I did early that week, and I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
So I popped that one in the mix. I had what else did I had? Did I have something I presume I had something from Daya. I must have had something from Daya. Beak, Glasshouse. Must have had something from Daya. Maybe I didn't get around to my Daya beer. What was the other one I had? I had something from Dry. I think it was something Mountain. Big. Oh, it's here on Trembling Madness. I just saw it. And that was nice. But the first one is. I mean, if I may say myself, is worth watching because I just get the giggles, and because I can't. I do mention that there is a bit of on the Beak one called High, an IPA. That there is something that is reminiscent of dog shit on your shoe. And I'm like, I feel terrible for saying that because I don't mean it smells like actually like shit on my shoe, but there's something pungent about it, and I
That's not
I
like
got to give myself
pungent
giggles.
fruitiness you get.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Once a dog poo's disturbed, it's like
yeah. And I just
I think
feel
I
so
know what you're
laughing.
talking about.
It's just fucking pungent, isn't it? Trap Brown Mountains, that's the beer I was thinking about, but no, Beak High, dog shit on your shoe. That's what it smells like. So that's worth it. It's downhill from there, to be honest. Is the quality of the reviews. But I was hoping I'd be a bit pissed by the end of it, and I don't think I was. Last one I had was my posh beer for the day, which was called Vanilla Dreams, from Lervig, which was a bit of a spendy bottle, but it was fucking ace.
Oh, nice. What sort of beer?
Really good. Imperial Stout with vanilla and some in bourbon barrels. If you've seen these Lervig beers knocking around, they're 20 quid a pop, but they're fucking amazing. There is, I mean, everybody used to always see like bourbon county stout as like a measuring stick. I think these are kind of a modern equivalent. I mean, the base beer is absolutely incredible. They are like 14%. We had one on New Year's Eve. The beer we were supposed to have on Boxing Day, but because I were in no state to enjoy a £20 bottle of beer, we held off, and we had a New Year's Eve, and that it was when we had. First time I had one was called Canadian Breakfast, which was maple and something else. That was really good. But the one we had on New Year's Eve was called Blue Plate Special. I can't remember what was in it. It was good shit. But the base beer is fucking amazing. The barrel, the quality, what you get from the barrel is just absolutely delightful. I mean, they just had the right amount of adjunct. I mean, the 20 quid, and you think, oh, it's a bit of a risk, but they are fucking brilliant. And when you have one, you think, I hate this. I fucking love it that much, but I hate the fact that I'm gonna have to buy more of it because it's just so damn good. I mean, it's next. I mean, this is okay. That is quality wise amazing.
What was the size of the bottle?
375. So it's pricey, and those Cloudwaters are a tenner a pop. 9.99. Those Cloudwaters, same, and they're not a million miles off. But those Lervig, seriously good.
Yeah, sometimes every now and then I can justify doing a little bit of a splurge.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, the first time I had one, I'd had a shit week, and then I'd had a really good day, and I thought, I'm going to commemorate the breaking of the shit week
Yeah.
by having a good beer. And I was like, yeah, it was just a Thursday night. I'm like, oh, that's fucking ace. As I said, I'm just scanning through Trolley Madness, seeing if I've any bits and bats that I picked up what we've had over the Christmas holidays. Pentridge, Follow the Penguins Affogato Imperial Stout. Sounded great. Bit too much fucking cherry.
Oh.
Yeah, damn it. Upsettingly.
Hate that flavour.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, it kind of threw me for a loop a little bit. It's all right, but ugh. But they do have I'm just looking at. They've got a maple Scotch ale. Maybe. Oh, that sounds all right. There's another few. A couple from Pressure Drop. American Brown Ale, which was very nice, called Minor Celebrity. Very good. And then the Imperial Stout, Honeycomb. Let's say what else was in it. Honeycomb Chocolate Vanilla Imperial Stout, which was really good. Took me back to some of the better ones. Last couple Imperial Stouts, Pressure Drop, not being great, but that Velvet National was very nice. Didn't go over the top with the kind of sweetness, surprisingly for what it is. Well, very nice. Anything you've I said just pepper in kind of ones that you've had and enjoyed.
Well,
you got a couple of casks, didn't you?
I did. The metric, I didn't drink quick enough, so there was a little bit that was just too flat to enjoy. But the bitter, that just went down. An absolute treat. That to me is just a great example of the style in general. And nice Russian bot comment, but but yeah, the marble with those sorts of they're not fancy, they're not in trend with what's popular beer styles, but when just metric on its own is just a great drinking beer that's actually got flavour. So I really enjoyed both those mini kegs.
Yeah, they're not a slave. I think they're aware of it, but they're not a slave to kind of trends, marble. They must. I guess they sell a lot more draft. I mean, I've heard first-hand experience talking to bottle shop owners saying they've struggled to sell marble at times. Often because the price point was always a bit higher because it's a bigger can. But maybe they're shifting enough in taproom that they don't have to worry about it, which I'd hope so.
Well, that's it.
I think they're a really important brewery.
Even to buy direct from them, you get a lot of beer for your money, and it's good quality stuff. I mean, the only sort of pricier stuff is the bigger bottles that they do, which some of them do look a little bit. I don't want to say overpriced because I never want to really criticise brewery, but just I don't really want to pay that much for a strong ale.
Yeah, and you had some iffy ones in past. I remember when Paul was over, you had some.
Yeah, that's sort of like
the prize old ales
based on writers and where they were like unlabeled bottles, and they just had the
little tag on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, all based on Gale's prize old ale, I think, in different barrels. Yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I think like the barley wine it's something that they produce every year. Yeah, it's a pretty safe bet.
Is that
but
Decadence?
Yeah.
Barley wine.
Yeah, they do a stout. They originally Decadence was an imperial stout and 2 fruited beers, which I've still got from 2009. With nice bottles of vinegar I've got there. Exploding bottles of vinegar, essentially. I was told at the time by lads who are brewers and saying, don't hold on to them, just drink them now. They're not going to get any better. Then I jumped the shark, so what can I say? A couple more comments from Rory. Yes, he said that it was the. You can say. Would you say Mertzen?
Mertzen, yeah, with the umlaut above the A.
I do like having the superiority of knowledge that I'm pronouncing something correctly.
I always
feel
like a dick
small
when I say it. Because I'll never ever correct anyone with it.
Oh, yeah, I would. I love it.
But the best
thank you, fine.
The best word is Warsteiner. Warsteiner. But
I think you're fine.
What, don't you mean Warsteiner?
I've drank it in a bar in Essen where we expected it to be open much later than 11:30. That's why we didn't get a hotel because we thought we'd just be able to stay up all night drinking, and then the bar we were in closed at 11:30. We were like, "What the fuck?" It was a good day up to that point, but then the wheels fell off and we were all pissed at that point. Anyway. Roy said, I only bought the cycle because I won money on bets.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I bought the track beers, to be honest.
Beers, bets, and bacon, is it?
Because I thought £60 is a lot of money. But there was a nice mixed 4-pack of cans in there as well. So.
Oh, there you go.
Because I thought it was just going to be like a 4-pack of Sonoma.
Fucking hell. See, I'll pull you up on that one. Sonoma County. It's a range of mountains, I think, is Sonoma.
But no, it's like a 4-pack of the sort of like latest pales and IPAs. So I was like, that's not too bad. It softens the blow a little bit.
That's one of the downsides of Track Online, is the 4-packs. Because I want one of each, really. Until I know I like it, I might buy more if I like it, but so I'll probably end up buying it locally or Traveling Madness, to be honest, because they'll get singles pretty quickly. So, and these days, most of them don't disappear instantly. Not even the gold tops, really.
No, the
thankfully,
prices don't really seem to be that much higher than buying direct a lot of the time.
I think Traveling Madness is probably cheaper as well.
Yeah.
They do seem actually cheaper than most tap rooms.
It seems it's cheap to buy Beak through websites like Traveling Madness as well.
Yeah, Beak are expensive. Direct, I don't know why. There's a bunch of breweries who are more expensive direct. I do not understand why. Hey, Lee W, how you doing? I love my
Mate.
beer of the year, Salt Hexium 9. Not as hot. Oh, not as hot as a draft, but from the can was like, they liked it. Happy New Year. Yeah, well, I was there when Lee was quaffing a glass of that very beer when we met up in with Simon and Simon from Real Craft Beer. But what are you drinking? Where are you from? What are you drinking? And the lovely John from Lord's Brewing in Leeds. Yeah, it was a fun afternoon. That seems like a long time ago now, doesn't it? DL.
Yeah.
But yes, so that was also very nice. What else have I had recently? It's just been good. The Verdant Coffee Stout I enjoyed. First time around, thought it was really nice. I've done a video of it. I think I posted it. Second one I had,
Was that
not
on the
nice.
ground or something like that?
Off the ground, yeah.
Off the ground, yeah.
Not great.
I really enjoyed the can I had.
Second one I barely got any coffee.
I got quite a bit of coffee and it was like it was a nice
that reminds me.
amount of coffee. But I think
Christmas
out of those
bonus.
3 beers that they released, because Adam picked up the 6-pack where you got 2 of each, because I went half with him. But I would say it was the Baltic Porter they did with Pagliala, which was the best out of those 3.
Oh, can't go wrong Piala. If you're not at the Piala barley wine, that is seriously good shit. Yeah, that is fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
I think it's called Triple Barrel or something. That's one of the best barley wines I've ever had. So we had one last week, I think. Or was it this week? From Funky Fluid, from Poland.
yeah.
They're part of their 7th anniversary is once again from Traveling Madness. So you get Ian. Ian, if you see this, you probably won't. When I'm getting my fucking kickbacks, when I'm getting my discount code, you're making enough money. I know you are. I know how much your money. Well, roughly, I've got a good idea how much you're making.
Use your code Trembling Rob.
Yes, Tremblezine. Yes, that was fucking amazing. It was bourbon barrel aged barley wine with maple, vanilla. I think. Oh, jeez, it tasted like a little bit like, do you know your little bottles of vanilla essence for baking?
Yeah.
A bit of that, a bit of bourbon, and then like spotted dick. You know what I mean? Not an infested penis.
Yeah.
oh, it was fucking amazing. That's a beer to track down.
Ooh.
I'll see if they still got it. That was fucking brilliant, and I might even screen share it because this is stupidly good.
Yeah, Pagliala with those sorts of beers. I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever had a bad imperial beer of any style from Pagliala.
Yes,
Some of them, because of the additional ingredients they use, completely change like the fabric of what the style should be, but they've always been really good, nicely priced as well for a lot of them.
So this was the Funky Fluid one I was just on about. I mean, it's not cheap, but fuck, this is good. Yeah. Bourbon aged barley wine. Barley wine, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Addition of maple syrup, toasted coconut and vanilla. Oh, it was stupidly good, was that? I mean, it's not a cheap bottle of beer, but fucking I might buy another one.
Well, that's the thing, though, isn't it? It's like
ridiculously good.
You can spend that much on one beer that you know you're gonna savor and enjoy. How many times have you bought like, let's say, a double IPA, or an imperial stout, and then you've drank it, you've paid like over 4 to 5, if not more, for it, and you've just been disappointed. So I'd much rather spend a little bit more on a beer that you're not going to buy regularly and just enjoy the experience.
Exactly. Well, hiding behind the comments. Hey, it's Craig. How you doing, buddy?
Even Craig.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, very good. Oh, bloody hell. It's like a bloody bus, isn't it? Like a number 10 bus.
Hello.
Jake's
okay.
in his festive surroundings.
I am, yeah, because
That's
my
actually a
office,
really
my
nice
office,
backdrop.
it's quite good, isn't it? It's quite nice, but it's because my
That's pretty
office is like my normal heap of crap that I have behind me. There's just more crap in there, and I couldn't be bothered to clear it out. So I was like, "Can I do it in the front room? Please let me."
I was going to title this stream "Avoiding Doing the Washing Up."
Yeah,
Face it.
It's-
I'll do that in the morning.
yeah, I'll still be there in the morning when it not going anywhere.
Not really. Craig's looking slightly angelic in a weird way. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's the lighting.
Yeah, I can change
Craig's got one of those light rings now.
Yeah, those TikTok lights.
I'm gonna buy a ring like Thomas. 50 quid, a bit of Christmas money.
It'll make your eyes look amazing.
Oh yeah, that's
You get that circle.
Yeah,
it's 50 quid. It looks like it's really good. And I watched some reviews and stuff, and I'm like, it's just lighting shit in here. It's all right now, but
too bright.
On the camera, it's there's a lot of shadows, and it just looks. When your levels are down, your resolution drops out and stuff, and it just looks dog shit. I'm like, come on. Talking of setups.
what? It's finally got a tripod.
Finally got his fucking. And I saw all the videos. I saw all the comments when you were doing live streams, Peter. About you're like, are you fucking happy now? Rob from HopZine, Rob and Adam.
I admit defeat on this one. It's so much easier now. I can get a much more flattering angle.
That's what YouTube's all about. An unrealistic view of yourself.
Yeah, you
look anemic.
you're standing up the other day and everything.
Yeah,
I saw your video.
You just stand up with your kitchen there.
Yeah,
balanced against some like a pot of gravy in cupboard.
Like a jar of jalfrezi, which is always fun. Try to level up against a circular jar.
I'm gonna go nighttime lighting. Back in a second.
Oh, is that when you put on like a red light? Now it's the night time.
Yeah, I was went to Battersea Bridge. That's when I done that little walkabout.
Oh, nice. How long are you down there for?
I'll get home tomorrow.
Oh dear. Did you get any more from that bottle shop?
No.
You look like you got a bit though.
I've got one left. Yeah, I've got a few. I've got a few beaks. On my last beak now. Got weather.
That's nice. That.
Yeah, I had that. I think I had that on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Not the best, but
I quite enjoy it. It's alright.
Neither West Coasty or Rye.
The best. That's the trouble.
I thought.
There's a touch of rye, but it's not. I mean, there's a bitterness there, but I enjoy it. It's quite nice. It's better than some of the others. But yeah, still not rasping though. But then it's 6%. No.
Got a couple more comments.
It's a nice change.
Martin Harris has been liking St. Maz of the Desert beers lately.
I haven't had too much. Even since we visited them, I've not really drank too much of them.
Me neither.
A lot of the time, when I see some of their beers available, it's styles that I'm just, at that time, I'm not really in the mood to pick up a can of like a Foda beer or something like that.
Those Frog and Mice beers might be really good. I think Becky's got one in the fridge. But yeah, they're a bit weird. It's like it's like a sour golden bitter or something, but they've got big ratings.
Sour golden bitter.
Something like that, or like a further. One's maybe a Brun. I don't know. Lee W drinking a Ruby Port barrel aged Decadence half all left from last night from Marble.
Oh, Marble.
Nice.
I'm drinking that at the moment from Track. This Painted World West Coast IPA.
Nice.
Simcoe West Coast IPA. It's pretty good. Again, it's the usual tale of not being that
Oh,
bitter.
that West Coast.
Yeah.
Being West
But
Coast
I mean, it's nice and clear. It's pretty pin bright. But yeah, it's and this I haven't had a beer that's been this sort of Simcoe forward in quite a while, really. So it's got that sort of dankness.
See, I like the sound of that aspect of it.
Yeah,
Like really upfront and abrasive Simcoe.
Yeah. It's not like it's not crazy. It's got a very pronounced dank quality, and then a massive hit of like grapefruit. So it's quite classic in that respect. But then there's just no bitterness really.
What sort of place on the scale of cat litter does it fall on?
It's not really got the cat pissy thing. it's not. It is more of a dankness and a bit of a rattiness to it, but not that whole cat piss quality. Quality.
No, I think you're spot on. I think you're spot on with that. See, my enduring memory of cat piss is my mate's kitchen. He wasn't cleaning that fucking litter box out. It fucking
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was disgraceful.
I don't miss that smell.
And then on a morning as well, on fake grass in back garden. Fucking hell, you really got that ammonia kind of like thing from that. Oh, fucking dirty animals. I don't know if you get that from Simcoe these days, though. I think Simcoe's changed, and I think the Simcoe that is bought by those type of breweries isn't like that at all. I remember having a Trillium beer that was Simcoe. I'm like, this is not fucking Simcoe. No chance.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing about it. But I think that's the whole thing. Cause the individual breweries like that, breweries like Cloudwater, probably Track as well, will specifically select batches and they'll go, I like that because of this. Not old school Simcoe. I think it's just changed massively.
Yeah. And probably people just buying the same crop
IPA,
once upon a time.
West Coast IPA. Sorry.
What was that, Craig? Sorry, you cut out there.
It's lagging, I guess. As you...
Anywhere, wherever Craig is in the
It's
country,
shitting, isn't it? It's just
it will be lagging.
What should they bring back, Craig? Or have you completely frozen now?
It's just terrible. They should make a West Coast IPA 6 rated in cat piss. That'd be what one.
Saturated in cat piss. Well, I actually did have. I don't know if you're able to see the photo on the screen, but I did have over the Christmas period.
You're gonna go full screen, by the way.
Can you see that?
I know.
Cat
Or is it
IPA?
Cat pissed IPA.
Okay. Yeah.
Who the hell brewed that?
It was actually brewed by Fell Brewery, and it was for like my father-in-law brought it back when he went to the Lake District, and he brought it back. It's brewed for some restaurant up there, but by Fell Brewery, and it was okay. It was a bit insipid, but the cat piss reminded me that see, Craig, he didn't like the cat piss beer.
No, that being on.
But he brought back a few things from Lakes Brew. I had their West Coast IPA, and I thought that was okay. That was perfectly. I can imagine that'd be a big seller if they have a tap room. It'd be a big seller in their tap room. It was very easy drinking. Again, not West Coast by the old school definition, I suppose.
Yeah. So I find a lot of like beers labelled as West Coast IPAs now just taste like. Do you remember when just those generic IPAs that everyone used to brew?
Yeah.
It was just called IPA.
Yeah.
And it just reminds me of that, like just a well brewed, slightly hoppy.
Well, and also, people didn't really used to call it West Coast IPA, really, did they? I think it was when New England IPA became a thing. People had to differentiate between different.
Yeah.
The same way New England IPA just means like hazy IPA to a lot of breweries. I think West Coast
Like
IPA just means it's slightly clearer and not as like juicy.
Yeah, mate. See, I've not heard the name Vermont IPA for a long time.
Yeah.
Evening, Rory.
Nice name.
I'm not really an answer. I just got the from Harry. He was calling me. I'm embraced.
Yeah. You've embraced being a nonce. Yeah, well, there you go.
It's either that or wait for police to call you it.
Yeah.
My Christmas box from work. So I got grab a share about 20 quid, or if you want something a bit more expensive, like pay forward. So I got those tools. I know Jake had.
Oh, I had the double barrel one the other day. It was very good.
I'd forgot about him until just then. Just now. Not gonna drink it now though. But how was the double barrel?
It is hefty, to say the least. But actually, it's very smooth as well. But you can tell it's a big boy. And I mean, it's been barrel aged for essentially like 2 years, or whatever it is. So it's complex.
What's the ABV on it?
15.5.
What a smokes!
Yeah. It was. Yeah. I definitely felt it. Because I'd already been to the White Horse, and I had like a few there, and then we got back and I had a few more, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna crack that now. And that sorted me out, that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice and deep.
Yeah. Well, I had to stay up till 12, didn't I? So
Yeah.
I had it on New Year's Eve. But yeah, no, it was damn good.
Sorry, Jake.
No, I was just saying it was good. You carry on.
Yeah. Yeah, I ordered Velvet, National Velvet on your recommendation.
Good. I think I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the better ones that Pressure Drop have done. I said if you had like good chat, I thought that was a bit overly sweet. There was something else they'd done which I was a bit disappointed with, but I thought that was nice. That.
Yeah.
And it was I'd not drunk for 3 days or 4 days by the time I drank it. So it was really weird. I could smell things so intensely. So like anything around me, or like
like a bloodhound.
It's like I'm like my super senses are going crazy. So I think it's a good indication that it was good. Yeah. So we've got a degustation. We've been on earlier tonight. We're on Dean's channel actually doing a couple of beers. Actually, I've got one. I might have it. I just go fuck it and have it. They did a couple from North, the triple IPA and Big House Walls. I think they might have done. They might have done this evening. But yeah,
That's a good beer, that is.
I'll check that out after the fact. What's that? Which one's that, Rory?
So called Such Magic Never Dies. It's such a good beer. You'd never.
Oh, it's the triple you were saying.
Yeah, you'd never think it's 10.5 at all. You think people like maybe 8 push.
I get a little bit. Oh,
Nice.
the barley wine. Yes. I've had the barley wine a couple of times. It's very nice. Quite traditional, I'd say, the barley wine from North. It's good though. But yeah, triple IPAs. As I'm going to go and get one. I often feel a bit. Do I want a triple IPA? So I often don't pick them up.
It's not sweet. It's not, and it's like really juicy. Just you don't. It's not boozy at all. It's just you just like 8% beer. It's so good.
So it's no different then, really. So it's.
That's it. I guess I'd always if it's 8.5, a double.
Yeah.
What more am I getting?
Yeah.
For higher ABV, less falling over. That'd be preferred
More
situation.
expense as well.
Yeah. Yes, of course. Like, have you got anything in your glass at the moment, Craig? on the Ovaltine?
Just finishing off the. Yeah, just finishing.
Oh,
this.
right, yeah, sorry, yeah, you said, yeah.
So,
Do you have opened
got
last
a stout
last
one.
night? I said I caught a bit
I
of.
don't know if I'll have it.
So I caught a bit of you and Peter on. I just want to mention,
Right,
Greg.
from,
I loved your thumbnail for Nitro Power Slide. It keeps popping up on my stream on YouTube.
Yeah.
Was that the one that like ticket to the gun show?
Yeah,
Loved it.
just
It's popping up.
just different ones. So,
Yeah, no, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. It's gotta be done.
I'm trying to do puns within the actual. Trying to do puns within the name of the beer and what I'm doing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, it makes
It's only
sense.
why I'm doing them live. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
there you go.
Because I remember someone commenting that everybody's fucking thumbnails for ages was essentially that moment where you did that. Mine was, and there were a bunch of other people's. They're all essentially that thumbnail.
It was always over the face as well.
Yeah.
no faces on show. Yeah.
It's the. I'm curious. I was listening. I was watching quite a popular YouTube channel. A lot of you won't know anyway, but and they were talking about how you kind of like feed the fucking algorithm of YouTube, and I'm curious what that is. Not that I'm fucking bothered. Not that I'm going to do out about it, but like you thought, what is it? What is it? What are those things that it takes? I'm looking at Jake as the marketing professional. What are the fucking things you've got to do?
Is it like
To be
buzzword?
like, I don't know. Is it to do with Is it to do with hashtags in your video? Is it to do with like thumbnails? Is it to do with titles? Is it to do with the type of content?
It's everything. That's the thing. But the main thing that YouTube has always rewarded is just consistency.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to post like every day at the same time, because you could post once a month, but that could be your. It's about that building that expectation of when people are going to watch it, and it being the same time every time, and that's why like Johnny and Brad it's Wednesday at like 4:00 like every week. It's that building that expectation, because that's what a lot of people do to bypass the algorithm. Is promote that at different places at different times to different people, and all that sort of thing. So like on Reddit, if there's I don't know what a good example is. Like you post it on Reddit in an English forum at the time that they're awake, and so there's all like little bits, but I mean it's just a whole lot of work to really do stuff.
It really is.
Yeah, but that's the main thing that algorithm has always been based on is consistency, and then all the other stuff is just time of day and catering to your audience, and the thumbnails and everything just feeds into that. But like, yeah, it's a game really.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, for everything that he isn't, Simon plays the game, and that's why he is in the position that he is.
I seem to be feeding into the Russian bot algorithm in the last sort of 3 weeks. It's just gone crazy.
Yeah, you've tapped into it. You're on their radar.
Excellent.
I got one earlier.
I love.
Yeah, you did get one earlier.
Yeah. You normally get one. Or two in every stream or every video. It's like.
I just presume it's Harry.
Weird.
The bot commenting has seemed to stop now. The actual comments on the video that seems to have stopped for me. It was crazy at one point. Just where they do like a time code and then some weird like URL. As like you'd post a video and then like a minute later that comment would pop up. That seems to have calmed down a bit now. But that was a weird one.
Yeah, it's a different variant now. So.
I might get that. That North triple IPA out against my better judgment.
I haven't had anything from North in ages.
The
Well,
funny
actually,
one-
last time was when I was at North, but
Kind of gone off the boil a little bit. I don't
Probably
know what. I
same
don't,
I
you've
don't.
gone off
I
the
don't.
boil.
I don't particularly see him about. I don't see him in bottle shops too much, really. Not around here, anyway.
They stopped kicking out the specials as kind of ferociously as the ones were.
Yeah.
The last time I had them was in the one in Bristol. They had a takeover. Newtown Park.
Cool.
Yeah, a couple.
I want a Newtown Park t-shirt, but I'm still not convinced that their cans are going to be any good anymore. Still,
Yeah,
I'm wary, not weary. I'm weary and wary.
I bought one can from it. It's their Imperial barrel aged Imperial Stout, which is alright.
Yeah.
But it tasted like it tasted of vomit. Smelled of vomit.
It's alright, but it tastes like vomit.
It was alright. Just tasted of vomit.
That's a t-shirt. So I had a fun afternoon there. That's all. Apart from after leaving there, I did threaten a taxi driver with my crutch.
Hey, oh, that's where you got really angry, wasn't it? You said,
Yeah, I'm going to put his fucking windows through with my crutch. It's not. I tell you, I'm a powder keg. I'm not the man you think I am. Fucking you fucking cunt! You're like fucking £200 now.
If you look
Your
at
fucking windows through, you
the wrong
cunt.
way, wrong way.
Yeah, it happened. It's all right.
What
Slightly.
started
It
that
did
then?
cost me like £100 opposed to like 300. So
And what started the whole taxi thing? Why did you get angry?
well, two fucking Ubers were leaving Bristol when we were down for my birthday in summer. The two Ubers didn't turn up, saying they couldn't find it. They fucking just they couldn't be asked.
Mhm.
Couldn't find it in my ass. They fucking didn't have any problem dropping us off. So second one anyway. So we missed it anyway. So we head towards station, walking, and we fucking find him halfway. I'm like, what is it? Is that him? Oh, that's him. Well, anyway, come down. He's trying to like get us in. I'm like, no, you're fucking late. We've missed this train now because it's just down there.
On the way
You
to Bristol.
fucking useless cunt, yeah. And I said, this is going to cost now. This is going to cost me about £300 getting home because you couldn't do what the basic fucking premise of your livelihood. What you're meant to be doing is turning up on time at the place expected, and I'll pay for that. But
Yeah.
you didn't, and now it's going to cost me about £300. I said, and he was like, woo. I said, oh, yeah. The red mist descended. I said, I said, I'll put your fucking windows through.
That sort of thing sounds better with a northern accent as well.
Oh, yeah.
Way more intimidating.
I'm branding the crutch. Put your fucking windows through, you cunt. But yeah. Yeah, Bill.
Did you actually say it to him? You actually, I'll put your window through.
Yeah.
All right.
Got my crutches over there from last week when I couldn't fucking walk. If you want to get first-hand experience of what it was like.
A full reenactment.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. But yeah, it was good. Looking at like national railing price, it was going to be like £150 each.
Yeah. Day
It
on
ended
the
up
day on the day. Yeah.
It ended up costing me £95. But I just sucked it up. One of those things, isn't it? It could have been a lot worse. But we chanced upon a nice person at the train station. So it wasn't quite as offensive, but whatever. Well, it's 100 quid I'd preferred not to have spent, but
Exactly. Yeah.
at least I want 300.
Mhm.
And there's the story.
No, that's good.
And the taxi's still got his windows, so
It's got its windows, exactly. Yeah, but
Because that probably would have cost you a lot more if you did actually put his windows through.
I don't think I'd imagined it. Imagine it really. It's kind of rubber. Crutch is rubber and lightweight aluminium as well.
It would have been great if you tried. It's just fucking like bonk.
Like fucking
Final
Basil
ten,
Fawlty.
smashing away.
Yeah.
That's it. Gonna get a damn good thrashing. It would probably end up like that.
I love that. That's a great scene.
But yeah, it is what it is. He shakes a fist now like no one else. It's like,
Yeah.
You're going to do a sensei, and Mr. Miyagi kind of just gets out of the way.
That's a good thing. Last couple of days, playing a new series of Cobra Kai. Oh, if you're not watching it, fucking sort your life out and watch Cobra Kai.
I watched the first season. I've not dipped back in for the other ones yet.
Just the first series.
Yeah.
Get back in. dive in. The waters are warm. It's amazing.
I'm waiting for season 2 of Clark's Farm. That's what I'm waiting for.
Of what?
Clarkson's Farm.
Oh, didn't watch it.
I don't know. Never even heard of
Yeah,
it.
it's good.
Yeah, I did. It's good. But he's just a hateful character, isn't he?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Like as in Jeremy Clarkson?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I might have seen some YouTube stuff. Yeah. Did he do a beer? Didn't he do like a lager or something?
Simon's a review of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Of course he has.
Yeah.
That's probably.
I hope he does it in the style of Jeremy Clarkson.
Season 2.
Yes, the best beer in the world.
It's good. It's worth a watch.
Simon dressed as the Stig would be fun.
Simon Chester's Jeremy Clarkson would be better.
I bet he could dress as Jeremy Clarkson, like whitewashed jeans.
Yeah, blazer. What kind of what shirt does he wear?
It's normally just some sort of pastel color tucked in, and it's like a light
Tucked
blue tucked in.
Aggressively tucked in, so his belly really shows. Hoisted up high. I want to see it. I hope he did it. He probably did. He just probably did the same old shit. But I want to see it. I want to see the Simon as Jeremy Clarkson. Maybe a wig.
When he did Tiger King, didn't he?
Yeah.
A nice porn stash.
See, that's something Peter could get into.
With it. Huh?
You what?
Did Jeremy Clarkson do that beer with him? What brewery?
No idea.
Yeah.
Anybody?
I'm not too sure.
I don't know. Oh,
all I know is it's his own malt
Cotswolds
that
Brewery.
he used.
Oh, Cotswolds. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes
It's a
sense.
lager as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
My end of the
Probably a Kolsch.
Yeah.
No actual lagering happened.
How did he cope with all the Eastern European farm workers? As a renowned racist.
Just fucking lamped him one. Every now and again.
Just paid him like £1.20 a day. There we go. Oliver Paul. Cheers, my good gents. Oh, look who we've got.
Cool.
The Headache King. Migraine beer reviews. How you doing,
I was just about to
Adam?
watch your review.
You're all right, mate.
Of, Centaur Army.
What's that, Rory? Sorry.
I was just about to watch your review of Centaur Army.
Oh, you should watch it.
will
Don't just about to watch it.
It's a classic.
Watch it, like it, comment.
Subscribe.
I had a can of the Azvex yesterday or the day before. Not great. I'd say Centaur Arm is probably better. I've got a can of that in Becky's fridge. So, did you like it? Shall we say? Did you like it, Jake?
Centaur.
Really good.
I enjoyed what I had on the review.
Don't give it away. Yeah.
I enjoyed what I had on the review, but afterwards was a struggle.
It's sweet as fuck.
4-4. Oh god, it was actually like hurt me. It was so sweet. I was like, the first sip I had, I was like, oh shit. It was that sweet, but no, yeah, I enjoyed what I had on the review, and then afterwards, a 440 was a slog. It wasn't a real slog. That sort of pastry stout is just not my thing.
Mm.
But it was a really good. I enjoyed doing it every now and again because they are silly and they are just over the top and crazy. But yeah, I couldn't be someone that seeks them out all the time.
Experiential beers.
Yeah.
So I've got
I prefer the normal one to the barrel aged one, to be honest with you. Like you were saying the other day, like the barrel doesn't really add much to it.
Especially when it's that sort of like fake adjunct stuff. It's like because it's all essences. Like it's just gonna all fall off.
Yeah.
It's not like there's actual ingredients in there that have been part of that flavor. It's just extract.
Yeah. And completely overpowers it. You can't taste it at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they would barrel age it just other than to just see what happened, really.
Yeah. And to make some money.
Exactly, yeah.
Completely honest
Treat those ingredients after the barrel aging process.
I'm not sure how it actually affects the brewing process when they just brew that stout and then they when do they add the essences in the brewing process when they're brewing that sort of beer? I don't know really.
So it'll be at some point during fermentation, probably when your fermentation is nearly finished, if not finished, because if you're adding sugar, then you're going to kick up your fermentation. Yeah. It's a tricky one. You've got high ABV beer, so you've got a lot of beer in. You've got a lot of ABV, so you've got a lot of sugar still in your beer. So do you stop it? Do you just know? You probably just know your yeast that it'll go so far without over attenuating, and then you probably add your flavourings so it doesn't chomp it up subsequently, because if not, it's just gonna go. You've got to keep going and going and going. If you've got yeast in suspension and load of fucking sugar and flavourings, which are probably sugar-based flavourings, aren't
yeah.
Is it the kind of the syrups you'd use for a coffee, like they put in there? A good quality one.
Kinda. I think essentially they are syrups. Yeah, and it's like what I'm on. I think that is very much of that ilk in comparison to like the Cloudwater stuff we were talking about earlier.
Oh well, whenever I have one of those like imperial stouts, like Centaur Army, you get it in your mind it's going to be amazing, and then it always falls flat to what you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
But that my continuous improvement met everything that I wanted it to be. That like everything I expected it to be, it completely. It was such a good beer out there.
Yeah. Well, it's first time I had Centaur Army was a couple of years ago on draft, so I only had a third of it, and I was like, "Wow, it's amazing!" I was like, "This is incredible stuff." But I think volume actually does have an effect because I didn't get like fatigued by it. I wasn't like, "Bloody hell, this is a struggle to finish." So a third of it was absolutely perfect measurement, and then I was like, "That's one of the best beers I had that year." In like 2019, I think it was. But then when I had a whole can of it at home, sort of just sitting there, and it started getting warm and stuff, like it was just like, well, it started getting a bit of a struggle. But yeah, but
Yeah.
my continuous improvement and those sort of beers, it's like you can have a 440 and you don't struggle with it.
It's like what Rob said. I think on your review, it's like a posh hot chocolate, wasn't it, that one? Because it's so thick, it just tastes like so chocolatey. My continuous improvement. It's just like
Yeah.
a hot chocolate in a beer form.
But as we said earlier, not synthetic at all.
No, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So when you have like one of those adjunct stouts, I always get the flavour of the adjuncts at the beginning. Then as you taste it, your taste buds get used to the flavour, and you don't taste it as much. I don't think. In my opinion.
Yeah,
That's it.
it
Yeah.
could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the time when adjuncts first started being used predominantly, there's always sort of a good base beer behind it, and then the adjuncts weren't as dominant. Whereas now it's like, I think a lot of pastry stouts is just so adjunct heavy.
Yeah.
It's just you get the fucking essences of it, and that's it.
Yes. Yeah.
Sugar with a little bit hint of like stout at the back.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's time and place, isn't it? Really. I mean, one of the few Christmas beers that we didn't get around to, which I'll have at some point, so I want to do a video of it, is a Evil Twin beer, which is is it fucking carrot cake marshmallow something beer, and it's fucking nuts. It looks like a tin of paint. You pour it. It's the essence of carrot cake. It's fucking nuts. Tastes like carrot cake distilled, and even the the icing on it and everything, buttercream icing. It just does it. But like when I had it, I had a third of it, and that was enough. Now I've got a can, so I want to share it. But it's like time and place. It is silly. It's fat, and yeah, I'm fully accepting of its silliness. So I'm not kind of like. But when you're expecting a bit more nuance, then maybe that's where kind of like things kind of like fall down a little bit. I was expecting a bit more nuance in what on the start what I've got nearly finished, and it seems a bit rough. Bit adjunct, bit of a one-note wonder. Not great.
Those like you said, those Firestone Walker have a lot more nuance to them, don't they?
No, but even the strawberry one the strawberry cycle beer that you picked up, there'll be a fucking amazing beer at the heart of that.
Yeah.
And it'll have a little bit. It'll have that thing, but well positioned, I guess, in that sense. It's not.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know why these things happen. Is it because the market calls for it? Is it a certain naivety on the behalf of the brewers? Because but at the same time, I think if you're brewing kind of like all these crazy beers, and then you're saying, "Oh, well, all I want to drink is like lager. All I want to drink is Hellers." Well, you fucking created it. It came from you.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the time, the market's not asking for all these crazy shit, and I completely understand breweries who are led by, like, say, somebody like Staggeringly Good, who are doing all these fucking ridiculous fruit beers, which seem like they explode most of the time and stuff. And I don't get it. There's a lot of disconnects for me in all those aspects.
Because I'm obviously when someone brews like a big double IPA or triple IPA, it's the age-old thing of it's that expensive because of all the ingredients in it. It's the hops, and they're a shitload of hops, way more money. Yeah. So how much do those extracts and essences and adjuncts and everything? How much do they cost? How much does that barrel of syrup cost? Because so like a brewery's chucking out a £10 can of like an imperial stout that's got a shitload of ice cream extract in it, and they're selling it for £10 a pop. Are they making a good margin on it? I think they probably
They
yes.
probably are.
I don't know how
think
much
it's
those.
all right.
Yeah. That ingredient seems like a low cost ingredient to me compared to hops. But I don't know. I'm just completely talking out my ass there. I have no facts to base that on.
That barrel aged Simcoe Aroma was 12 quid.
The barrel it was 12 quid. Yeah, because I think I paid like £8.95 for the can, just the standard can.
Yeah.
So that's But then I suppose the 12 quid is the sort of time, the time and barrel that is taken up and the space that's taken up for the barrel aged version. But
Yeah, they did. I think they did it in 2 barrels, like Heaven Hill and another one as well. Another quite prominent like American barrel. And then they blended them, didn't they? I think 2 barrels. That must be quite expensive. But yeah, I probably won't go. I won't really, apart from the cycle ones, which are already obviously good. It's a good brewery. I don't really think I'll go chasing beers as much now.
yeah. Wait until you're hammered.
Yeah.
Start
Saying
clicking
that,
around.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just Rob was talking about the that national the pressure drop one got from Trembling Madness. I thought, oh, I'll have some of that. This is
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably the most expensive beer that I've brought like recently, and that was only 12 quid. So it's not the craziest. It's not the craziest thing in the world, but it was damn good. I'm glad because I just don't buy this sort of beer anymore, really. So I was glad I got that from Trembling Madness because I got a load of vouchers.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, because at first I had my cart full of stuff that I'd just buy anyway, like loads of pale ales and IPAs and that sort of thing. And I thought, well, these are vouchers. This is money that I wouldn't normally spend. So yeah, exactly. Yeah. So let's buy beers that I wouldn't normally buy. But then I brought that, and the rest were all IPAs and pale ales.
Yeah, same. That's how it always is.
Yeah.
And I only seem to like splurge on beer when I've already drank.
Yeah.
Like when I paid 30 quid for the Spontan Basil.
Okay, yeah.
But I was just like, I'm not at home. I'm staying somewhere because I bought it from the Triangle when I was with Rob, and I thought, do you know what? I'd never spend £30 on one bottle of beer, but it's there. I've wanted to try it.
You get a bit excited, don't you?
I can afford it at this moment.
Yeah.
I'll pick it up. And
was it worth the money?
I'd say so. I don't think I'd want to spend that much money again on the same beer, but it was like that. The whole thing of like that experiential sort of aspect of certain beers.
Yeah.
I mean,
it had quite a basil-y taste to it then.
It did actually. It had this sort of like sour yet pesto-y sort of flavour, which really worked well.
I can imagine that, yeah.
But but then I say that and I spent £10 on a can from Other Half when I did my Trembling Madness order.
Yeah.
Just because I've not seen broccoli anywhere for ages, and I was like, I want to try that.
Exactly. Yeah, and because I'm very much especially the last year or so, just money wise and stuff. I've been very cautious, and I've just been buying stuff that I know I'm going to like and know is easy drinking. So it's nice to have because that's what when people ask me what I wanted for my birthday or Christmas or whatever, it's like I know it's a cop out, but just get me vouchers for this beer shop because they're like an independent beer shop and stuff. So it's not like you're buying sort of fucking Sainsbury's vouchers or something. For me, like and like I actually really want it. Like I really want to be able to like buy sort of nicer beers, sort of like every. So they'll last me a good couple of months. I mean, I've already done 2 Trembling Madness orders since I've got the vouchers, but I'll hopefully stagger the next lot a little bit.
Is that your go-to beer place? Is it?
It is, yeah. It's for me. I just can't beat the range, and the cost. Like even my local beer shop my local beer shop is a bit of a faff. I'd have to pay to get in there some way. Even my mister dropped me in, or I have to get the bus or whatever. And the prices they don't have as good a range, and the prices are way more expensive. Even when you factor in the cost of delivery from Trembling Madness, they're still more expensive.
It's
So
because
it's
they're
just
buying.
That
It's
being
the
said,
amount they buy.
Yeah.
even if
They
you
can
go
get
to the
discounts.
£70 free delivery, you know you've got a good selection of beers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like you do
And the
the-
delivery's so good. The delivery,
Exactly.
it's like it
I've
comes
written
next
that-
day more or less every time.
Oh, is it?
I mean, I think I'm
Yeah.
going to expect mine on like Wednesday or Thursday, but I'm like, I don't care. I need some good beers, and so running very low.
Do they have
I thought I would.
quite regularly on that site then?
No, I mean they've not. We've not seen if Firestone Walker over here for years,
Yeah.
and so I don't know. Actually, I think I've been told how they came in, but yeah, it all went to shit. I know why it went to shit. I don't know. It's probably not the time and place to talk about why we don't have Firestone Walker in the country anymore. But essentially, David Walker, who is the Walker of Firestone Walker, his brother was a bit of a cock. He's a bit of a cock.
Yeah,
And
I've met him.
essentially, he was offered a really good
I
deal.
remember Jake's
He was offered a really good deal, which should have made him absolutely fucked tons of money. And he was wanting enough. So essentially, he chucked up. Yeah. Right. I'll just say. Let's just say. Okay. Why not? And so I know the company who were bringing in Firestone Walker at that point in time. He'd lined up Easy Jack to be in every Nicholson's pub in the country.
Every
And
pub in the country?
Adrian Walker wouldn't give him a discount.
Bloody hell.
How many fucking pubs do
Yeah.
Nicholson's own?
Yeah.
A lot. Fucking hell! How much? That's even worth just in being in those pubs in London.
Yeah.
Fucking hell! There must be 20 Nicholson's pubs in London. Any decent city has got at least one Nicholson's pub. It'd have been a permanent tap, and they'd have done great out of it. But he wouldn't give them a discount. So, and these chains expect it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, exactly, because it's volume, isn't it?
Yep, it's fucking nuts. But yeah, one thing I will.
Stronger beers from Firestone Walker.
Well, they were coming over on the back of the volume, I guess. But that was all coming through a business that was previously known as something else. But it's essentially Kirkstall Brewery over near Leeds, over in Leeds, and they were the business behind it. But their parent business before it was all kind of absorbed into one business were the ones bringing Sierra Nevada to Europe. So if Sierra Nevada came to anywhere in Europe, it was via that business in Leeds, and they were bringing over millions of units every year. And then Fuller's took it on, and it all went to shit because Fuller's did nothing with it, and then it's all kind of changed and stuff now. But shame Craig's not here. One thing I wanted to talk about was, which is great that people have I know there's a bunch of people always do the kind of best ofs and stuff. I've not done this year, and I don't think anybody else has done that. I mean, I know like Raggy's done a bit, and I think and Matt from Massive Beer Reviews is very comprehensive in his.
Oh yeah.
Well, I just for me. Do you know what I mean? And brilliant, and do it if you're gonna do it fucking properly. Matt fucking does it properly. But for me, it's just like I've not really kind of drank in that way. I've kind of enjoyed experiences and moments, and that's maybe, and not being kind of chasing anything in particular. And like if some things are better than others, then that's fine. And just enjoying what's in front of you, really. I think that's a really important thing for me. I don't know about you guys. I mean, I'd find it hard to be like, that's my beer of the year.
I have this year because I was saying when you were away that I've just been more money conscious this year, just for a couple of different reasons, and so it's meant that everything I've brought has been something that I know is reliable or I wanted to try and that sort of thing. So it's quite hard for me to pick out of all that, if you know what I mean. I mean my default answer is Popple from Beak, because I just drunk a load of it. I just brought it out every opportunity I could because I enjoyed it so much, and that's like 4.5% pale ale or whatever ABV it is. But because I enjoy that, and previous years it would always be some sort of crazy double IPA or imperial stout or something like that. But this year it's a 4.5% pale ale is the one that stands out, just because it was just so damn good.
As long as it's got the flavour, it doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah.
I think this year has been really good for just good, simple, accessible, affordable beer that's brewed on a somewhat regular basis.
Yeah.
So core range is really sort of becoming the bread and butter of a lot of breweries when 1, 2, 3 years ago it was all about like, oh, this is our new release. We're really excited because we've got these hops.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of breweries have realised, well, actually, we can brew this beer really well. And we can brew it at a really good price for the consumer. It doesn't have to be a special, limited, seasonal release. It could just be, yeah, we'll have those releases as they come. But we've got this like core, like 2 or 3 beers. And it's like Sonoma to me is like one of the perfect examples. Track are known for like their obscenely amazing double, triple, and just standard IPAs. But you get so much flavour and character from what's essentially a core range beer.
Yeah.
Like, that's like unheard of for the mass amount of like the burgeoning sort of like popular craft breweries.
I think there's a little bit of edging towards that. I think that's really interesting that you mentioned that, because I think Polly's did that kind of new range of kind of core range beers, and they were stupidly well priced, and they at the Triangle. They flew out. He actually upped his margin on that because they were too cheap. It seemed like it devalue other things because they were just so cheap. So maybe there is a veering back towards the importance of kind of like a consistent core range.
Yeah, and from a business standpoint, it makes sense to have that. You have that sort of trickle of money coming in and all that sort of stuff.
The thing is, he's always levelled back at the customer. That, I mean, and I'm as guilty as anyone. What the everybody wants the new, the new and exotic. But do you know what? I am fully aware that if I'm not given loads of choice, I'll make a decision. I'll be like, I like that, and I like that, and I like that, I like that, and I'll buy them. I'm not some fucking child. It's like, I'm not interested unless this is like a new thing this week. You're fucking creating, and breweries don't take that responsibility from me. If that's what they produce, they're doing that because of the pressure with other people within their industry, and that is maybe informed by the customer. But I don't think it's as customer led as they like to think it is. Because if you don't make it, what we just gonna do, just aimlessly stand in the field?
Yeah, there's nothing to drink.
As Peter said, if Track make Sonoma, Half Dome, and an IPA, and then one rotating kind of special every month, we'll buy Half Dome, IPA, Sonoma, and that fucking other beer when it comes out.
Yeah,
because we like their beer.
It's like the whole Cloudwater thing. I mean, I know there's a lot of, you can pick a lot at Cloudwater, especially over this past 18 months. But even before that, they were always developing the
They-
recipe of like their pale ale, their Helles lager, their
Yeah.
IPA. It's never been like the sort of the same beer. They've always sort of like, well, we'll try this, we'll do this, and I don't know. And then they sort of like gauge, because they did that whole survey thing with some of the like, especially their pales and IPAs, where it's like you could buy 4 based on the same recipe but with some slight differences, and then they gave you the option of like filling out a survey. So you could say, well, version 1, I like this, but in version 2, I think they developed that, but version 2 wasn't as good as version 4 because
Mhm.
blah 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 blah, and they sort of like based their sort of decisions and their brewing practices on that.
Public kind of opinion on it.
But
The-
I think the core range has become such an important thing, and one of those breweries who nailed the core range very early on was a brewery like Magic Rock. For all their faults,
Yeah, they're always consistent, weren't they?
yeah,
and it seemed to be a lot more easier available than it is now. I don't see it anywhere now. I think it's because they've moved to supermarket and takeovers and that
Yeah.
sort of thing, isn't it? You
And,
don't actually see it, but it used to be so solid.
a lot of bottle shops don't
Yeah.
want to really touch that sort of stuff, even though that stuff is still going to make even the most like frivolous, independent, conscientious-minded business. You're still going to make a good amount of money on, something like Common Grounds.
Well, the Cloudwater thing's quite funny because I think they're such a barometer for where stuff's going, because they actively early on they said that they're not going to do a core range, and then all of a sudden specials were everywhere, and it seemed to be and then it was and then they were because I remember them again doing a survey about what can size they should do, and that's where the 440 thing. They landed on the 440 thing, and then everyone was in 440s from like that point on.
I did 440 because the fucking Trillium and
yeah, exactly, yeah. Because so it's like, and then they did about no cast, did they? Yeah.
Yeah,
and then they did
they stop their cars.
Yeah, no car, but then they do cask, and now they're doing like a sort of a core range again. They have their sort of core set of rotating beers, don't they? So they're a funny one, really.
Yeah, they are. Funny one. It's the Cloudwater are a funny old situation, really. I mean,
he thinks he's a revolutionary, doesn't he?
That well said, Rory. He thinks he's a revolutionary. He thinks he's more than he is. I mean, Paul was stood outside when I pulled up in taxi last time at Cloudwater, and I didn't make myself known.
It is I, HopZine. I have arrived.
I mean, maybe that's to being friendly in that sense, but I won't be a dick. I was like, so much about what you do, I don't care about. And but then they did a tasting that week at the Triangle where I do work, and everybody's experience was really good. And the guys who did the tasting, who I know, have known for years, are super cool guys, and they had a really great experience, and had come away from it with a completely different viewpoint of Cloudwater. And I think that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think how Cloudwater present themselves on social media is problematic. Take a word from Peter. There's a lot of issues there, because when you're saying certain things, and when you're maybe asperging an opinion of an individual for a while, and then maybe the drip down effect of those type of things, it doesn't really represent anything all that well in the end.
He's our moral better.
Maybe exactly, and I think he just needs to shut the fuck up. I think maybe he has, and maybe I just don't see it. I don't know, but
I think it has sort of like toned down in the past sort of like 6 or so months.
I think that all the stuff about Brewdog, all the allegations and all that sort of thing, I think that calmed him down a little bit because he was very much in almost in bed with James Watt and stuff. Weren't they were forming a very close, close bond in terms of business, like with brewing beers there and all that sort of thing. So I think that might have calmed the storm a bit, sort of taking a leaf from Brewdog's book and just being a bit more silent and hope it goes away a little bit.
On that point, that 4-pack has now become just a Rock Leopard 4-pack, isn't it?
Oh, is it? Is that the new iteration of it?
Yeah, the last time I saw it, it was still the 3.
It just looks Rock Leopard now.
4 different breweries.
Yeah,
unless there's another one.
No, I think there's still I think there's still some of that old 4-pack kicking around as well as the new one, because I think it was discounted the last time I was in. The original 4-pack was discounted last time I was in Tesco's, and that was a month or so ago.
But then Rock Leopard, I don't know if it's happened, but there's been talk of them crowdfunding for to open a tap room. Get a fucking loan from the bank.
Mm-hmm.
That's how most people who've got
a business loan.
Yeah, exactly. That's how people do it.
That's the thing.
And he's a very experienced businessman. I don't like it.
That's
people
just an
aren't
easy way
fucking
to do
falling
it,
over themselves with a Rock Leopard tap room.
It's just the easy way to do it, really, isn't it? Like a crowdfunding.
Well, it is and it isn't, because to do a successful crowdfunding campaign, you've really got to push it, and it's constant. No let up. You've got to really market it, and because it's drips and drabs. Whereas if you have a good business plan and you actually go to, I mean, there's different ways of getting a business loan. You don't just have to go to a bank. There's investors and investment groups and societies and all this sort of thing you can approach for that sort of thing. And then you just have to build your business plan and give a solid pitch, and then you've got all the money. But I think the thing with crowdfunding is you don't have to pay it back.
I was about to say it, yeah.
Yeah, you don't. And also, as it's been seen with other brewery crowdfunders, there's no, you don't have to prove what you've done after.
Yeah.
There's no this is what we've done, and people can't say, oh, you didn't deliver on what you've done.
Yeah.
They don't get the money back.
Appeals to Rock Leopard.
Yeah.
Don't sue me.
Oh, handbags.
Never see this. But, I mean, look around.
Yeah, is Craig in the basement?
I was just going to say, I saw a message from him.
Yeah, he just pinged up.
I'm not going to say he has been fraud in the past.
He looks like he's been in the basement.
But he has been done for fraud in the past.
Good beer as well.
Not Craig.
I'm going to grab another beer.
Not me. Yeah.
Craig's not good enough for fraud. Oh yeah, keep every day above water.
Yeah. Is it good?
Exactly. But yeah, as Adam said in his thing, the magpie effect. Ooh, shiny, but who's providing the shiny? Too bloody right, Adam. Too right. I mean, I do get annoyed when brewers. Oh, there's no kind of talk, please. I do. Oh, okay. That's the name on casting Bundibus. So a month ago. Fantastic. See more of this version.
Yeah.
But
it's nice and close.
Where was I at then? Yeah, from what I'm saying, I completely agree. It's like who's creating the fucking situation? Are we? I don't think we are. Just like when we started doing beer review channels, Craig, it wasn't special releases. It was digging around and trying to find stuff from wherever in the world. It was finding stuff from all over the different parts of the country, because that's how you found the exotic, wasn't it? Like, ooh, can you get some beer from up in Scotland? Get some beer from Cornwall. Get some beer from.
I mean,
Yeah, I remember you, Rob, reviewing stuff from like
I mean,
Simon.
Cloudwater started off with that.
From you.
When they started canning, that's when it went stupid. Like 2017, something like that. And then so
It was that
Is
crazy.
that the pinpoint of the moment, 2017, when the wheels fell off?
well, when they started canning, when Cloudwater started canning, that's when it went. You could keep up before that, but then you just went crazy. 2 or 3 releases a week from them, and then everyone started doing it, and it's just like, nah.
Yeah.
That's when it lost me.
I think you're probably right.
I can give a shit.
Yeah, but then but if you want to be, it's like, let me backtrack a minute. I'm kind of like thinking about when I do my times at like Magic Rock and stuff, and I go to Magic Rock intermittently, really, but I go to Magic Rock with my like small growler. I've got it still back around here, and I'd fill up a growler of their like special release. Have a pour, take a growler home, maybe, if I liked it, and that seemed like quite a special thing, and that'd be like once a month, if that, really.
Yeah, they do a new one every month, wouldn't they? Like a new double IPA or an IPA, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but most of the time when you go to that tap room, I'm not seeing this through kind of rotating classes or anything like that. I'm not being unrealistic about this, but I think every time I go to Magic Rock, which was my kind of like regular-ish tap room experience back in the day, it'd be a lot of car race. I go in there, I drink High Wire, Cannonball, Dark Arts, Common Grounds, definitely, and whatever new bits are on. But I won't. I mean, it won't like a. I won't go in like in every week expecting 2 new ones.
I'd be a massive fan of them. And at the
Everyone
time, I was really
was.
shocked that they went. I mean, when I went to supermarkets, they were still good, but was it 2016? I met what's his name, your mate?
Richard.
They done a cannon. Yeah, Richard. They done that Cannonball Lupulin version. I always remember that.
Yeah.
And it was so much smoother. I mean, Cannonball's good anyway, but then they done that Lupulin version. It's like that's just starting to come into the UK there, and they gave me a few cans, like you do, because probably helped because of you, but and stuff like that. It was just like really nice, and their Cannonball run used to be good for a few years, and I really enjoyed that. And then when I managed to get to the tap room before, not that it matters, before they
sold out.
done a different business thing.
Sold out. It is what it is.
But so I don't know what the standard of their beers are, because I've not really. You don't see them apart from supermarkets. You don't really see them in bottle shops as much.
No.
So.
I've not had that for years, and it's not for any specific kind of like. I'm not doing it out of prejudice or anything like that, but because they're not that craft anymore. If it's good, it's good.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I had this chat with Disco last night and talking about
on the after party.
There's some people. Yeah, I just went on for an hour, and then it was only an hour, nothing.
No, I saw it
I
earlier.
was talking about because someone mentioned it. I mentioned, we got got into craft beer because of lockdowns and stuff. And I said, well, so did a lot of new generation beer reviewers and stuff. A lot of what we'll go out and buy, and it's during lockdown it just went crazy for everyone.
Yeah.
But then I always find would you be drinking these beers if you wasn't reviewing them on YouTube? That's the question I'd ask people.
I say
I
yes,
drink what
because
I'd drink if I wasn't doing this anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I've reviewed like 0.2 of what I've drunk in the last month on YouTube, even if that's
Yeah.
It's not the defining factor.
Yeah.
I'm drinking it because I want, because I find enjoyment from it more than anything. Than it being something that is kind of like, oh, it's the exciting new beers. I hope it is. I hope it's good. That's all I'm bothered about. I just want to drink a beer. I don't want to waste my money. I don't want to. Yeah, I mean, I don't. Life too. As I always say, life too short. A wise man once said, "Life's too short to drink amazing beers." So, if it's the same thing over and over again, and that's what makes you happy, go for it. If it's having the latest thing, and if it doesn't make you happy, if it does make you happy, that's great. If it doesn't, and there's then here we find the kind of like the discourse really that it is who's it serving in the long run in that sense by just two fucking new releases every week, where I'd actually, as Rory's here, I fucking love Into the Haze. It's a great beer. But how often do you get Into the Haze?
Yeah, not as often as you did. Used to be quite
regular. Drawing, but
used to be quite regular.
Yeah, it's a great beer. And I had the double IPA from a couple of weeks ago from Daya, and it said in our house style. I'm like, that's what I want, because it's in whatever the. That's I like Daya's house style. So. Can't hear you, Rory.
No, absolutely. What's the time? Oh shit! It's nearly 12 o'clock.
Still can't hear you.
Really quick.
Yeah.
Weird.
No. Didn't get home to bed until like 9:30. So.
It's crazy.
Can't hear you, Rory, mate. Drop out and jump back in. Yeah. Can't hear you. Peter's back.
Hello.
I think Rory is, but he's can't hear him. He's the Daya aficionado.
He is indeed.
He certainly is. I mean that in the sincerest sense. But yeah, that's it. I fucking love Into the Haze. It's a great beer. I'm all for more of that. Is there any kind of like other kind of core beers? I think as Peter was saying earlier about Cloudwater, for a while they fucking flim-flammed around the idea of a core range, and then they didn't do it in the end. They just made it a fucking brewdog product, and then they just do pale ales and IPAs, and there's nothing that sticks anymore.
Well, they did do that, didn't they? For a little while, the Hellas, that IPA, and then they went up and they went like a version, this, that, so here we go again.
And they were good. But is there any beers that you kind of think, oof, that's one I'd like to be able to pick up on a regular basis?
I'd say the Cloudwater Hellas has always been good. I've not had it sort of like
Yeah.
the recent versions of it. So I don't know if they've like stuck to one recipe or if it's still one of those continual processes. I really didn't like the when they released the 4 different versions of Pale Ale. Just the other 3 versions, I was just like, you don't need to do anything with it. Just keep it as it is.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's when they start going off the core range thing and stuff. It's, okay.
I think they were going to.
Great
You know, they
brewery,
did a bit
but
of,
also
hello.
full of hot.
I can hear you, Rory.
Full
Oh,
of
sorry.
air, I'm
No,
afraid.
sorry, Carl, I wasn't being rude. Because you couldn't, no one could hear me
Okay.
before. Just make sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Carry on what you're saying. Sorry, I just thought.
No.
Okay. No, I was just saying that Into the Haze, they're going to do some more
No,
versions of that as
Campbell are
well.
a great brewery, but they're just full of hot air.
Yeah.
They're too idealistic. They're
too
a brewery
political.
at the end of the day.
Yeah, they're just full of air, I'm afraid, when they go to vlogging and stuff.
But Rory, so they're doing some different versions of Into the Haze. Is that sort of what they did with Steady Rolling Man?
Sorry, no, they're doing more versions of Steady Rolling Man.
Ah, okay. Because I missed out on the Strata version of that, and that sounded really interesting.
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah,
Lagging like hell.
I think they're going to do like they're going to do maybe like a Sabra one. I think.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah, Sabra Rolling Man. I think it's going to be called.
Makes sense.
Oh yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm still a bit hit and miss with Sabro. So sometimes it can just be just too much. It's completely overpowering.
Too much.
And sometimes it can be delicious.
Opposite opinion. A lot of breweries don't know how to use Sabro, where you don't get anything unique.
I like it. I like where you can detect it, but it's not like smashing you in the face.
But I suppose Sabro's one of those hops that I've found. Depending on how you use it,
you get different
flavors. You get so many different sort of like aromatics, flavors, like differentiating like levels of bitterness.
Yeah,
I've heard like people say like basil, some people say coconut, that kind of thing.
Well, because I think sometimes this is obviously a massive generalization, but it can fall to ultra, for me anyway, it can fall to ultra coconutty, which I don't always appreciate, or it can give you sort of like that sort of more pineapple and with like a hint of coconut, a little bit of like tartar citrus and that sort of thing, which is I think it's when it gets overpoweringly a bit too coconutty.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, I don't want that.
See, I like it when it's very coconutty.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I do actually, yeah, to be fair. I like it when it's really coconutty.
But
yeah, it just doesn't sit well
Sabro
with me, really.
IPAs, I'm like, where's the Sabro?
Yeah.
It's
Where's the Sabro, bro?
Sabro.
Where's the Sabro, bro?
Any Sabro.
What do you say? Do you say it doesn't sit well with you?
No. Doesn't sit well with me. I'm on the track Weight of Planets Gold Top Double IPA.
Gold Top.
Lovely.
Gold Top.
Lovely
Gold
stuff.
Top track.
And it's I just did a little sort of quick review, and I forgot that it like the whole reason they call it Gold Top is because it's got lactose in it. And so I was drinking it, and I was like, oh, it's really creamy. It's got like a really sort of like thick, creamy mouthfeel. And I was like, does it have lactose in it? I looked at the can. I was like, oh yeah, that the Gold Top thing makes complete sense to me.
Is that actually what the Gold Top thing is about?
I assume so. That's what I associated
I
it with.
It was just like a
premium range.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got Gold Top cans. Let's call it something.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but it was well. That's why, because I'm pretty sure I've had another Gold Top one before. So maybe it's not always lactose, but I sort of put the Gold Top together with the lactose.
The bottle of milk.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense. You might be on something there.
But this one is Nelson and Rakow. Probably not saying that correctly, but it's really good. I mean, because the aroma was leading me down the sort of typical Nelson thing of being quite musty, quite grapey. It got a bit of an elderflower tinge to it as well. And then when I tasted it, it was like sweet and not overpowering. It's not one of those crazy lactose beers, but it was like the mouthfeel and that lactose element just completely took me by surprise. Yeah. And then after that, after I got over that, then you started picking up those sort of a bit more of that grapey quality to it.
Yeah.
But but it's really good. I'm glad I picked this one up.
I think most of their gold tops are pretty decent, aren't they?
Yeah, I've had a few good gold top versions.
They always release them. They always used to release them on a Thursday, and I got paid on Friday. And I like live week to week, so I usually have no money by Tuesday.
Well, that's why we have overdrafts or credit cards.
Yeah. Or you have to win on football bets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh god, my football bet's been shocking these past few weeks.
I've been on a Pipin's streak. I've been like, when I won this week, I won 200. Last week, I won 200. Week
Fucking hell.
250.
Can if I give you some money, can you put the bet on for me? Because every time I put a bet on, it doesn't work out like that.
Rory's picks.
Yeah. Just start a little kitty. We'll just start a little fun.
Interest.
Yeah, sort of like a betting conglomerate. Sort
Yeah. A book. Rory will be our bookie from now on.
Yeah. Tips and other bits.
It'll be the Sniff That Fund.
Yeah.
I did a £10 bet.
Fund.
I did an easy money. It was £10 bet on Mo Salah to have 2 shots on target. Did you not see that on Sky Bet? It was Mo Salah to have two or more shots on
because
target.
I only saw the Liverpool bets whilst it was in game.
Oh, did you?
So I think I missed that. So what were the odds on that?
It was 3-1. I put a tenner on, got a £40 back. For Mo Salah to have 2 shots on target or more.
I did
That's
have
pretty good odds.
Have a quite lucky cash out on the Liverpool game. It was Mo Salah to score, both teams to score, and then the only thing that was letting me down was 40 booking points for Chelsea.
Oh right, and that's
So
two.
it was
two
about 3/4 into the game, and I just looked at my bet. I only put like £2.50 on, and like the cash out was like £10.20, and I was like, "There's no way that's getting any better than that." So I was like, "Yeah, I'll just cash out."
My biggest tip would be put more money on, and put. It's like, do you know what you do? Like the
That's a terrible tip for gambling. just stick more money on. Just whack it on.
more money, add more money, and bet and do lower odds.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah,
it's like
that is, but it's still a gamble though, isn't it? So you put more money, on, but it might be better odds, but it could still not come in.
Yeah, maybe
that's I've just literally explained gambling to you. Oh god, Craig's on a big boy.
Something, it's on a 750.
Because
he's done this to me so many times, I'm really lingering in for far too long.
Of that grape ale. Oh,
handpicked no less. Cabernet Sauvignon.
That's a hand-picked fine craft ale.
2016 vintage.
Cabinet Sauvignon. What's that?
Big knob.
Yeah.
Is that foreign?
That's how I pronounce it.
You keep it in a cabinet or something. What's that about?
I'm going to finish my stout first.
Oh, I thought you had it in that glass. I was going to say that's great. In a fucking pint glass.
Dimpled mug.
Wine, please.
Have you never heard the saying "grape and grain"?
Yeah.
Mix of grape and grain.
It's bullshit. As Rory, as someone who gets as completely annihilated as you do, on just grain.
Never mix grape and grain.
There's no issue with that. It's
Grape and grain
Craig's
should
got
never
me
be.
very tempted to have a little taster of port.
Oh,
but I
If
can
you
never
just
do it.
drink too much booze,
I've had-
you'll be
I've had a
scuppered.
grey pale, but grey pales you get.
Great
Uh,
pales.
Is that fixing it?
Good, depends what you're having with it.
I'm on this one. It's a good beer.
Cheese
Hoken
or
Strong.
something?
Hokum Stomp. Is that the stout? Hokum Stomp.
Yeah, it's a nice one. It's a 5.4, I think it is. But it's really lactosey actually. It's got no lactose in it, but yeah, it tastes good.
All right.
Got some oats.
I've only ever draft at the tap room.
Yeah.
Back in the day, my lads. Back
Got
in
no
the day,
lactose in it,
my
but someone just had a
lads.
quick wank in
Bit of but do you know
outside of
lactose?
fermentation.
Because of Craig's lag in his room there, I thought because that mirror back there, that was trippy as fuck. Anyone who's watching this after the fact, just rewind
that.
it and see
I
what
saw that.
Craig just did, because it looked like he teleported, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
I thought that was someone else.
Yeah, someone else came in the room.
Turn it again.
That was mad because he was coming at the camera, coming towards the camera. It was like some Stanley Kubrick shit into the mirror. Very good.
Part of his geniusly thought out setup.
Yeah.
His London residence.
So it's all planned. Craig's just a character. It's just a character he's devised.
Craig is the Jack Torrance of beer tube.
I cracked this open for Craig and Rob. Who weren't here. It's
like
good.
Gold Top.
Gold Top.
It's fucking
It's-
ace, is that?
It's very good. It's really good.
It's one of the best. It's one of the best around, is that?
It's one of the best beers I've had in 2022 so far. It's up there.
This is my favourite beer for 2022 so far.
Is
No,
that
it's a
as good
great
as-
beer. It's a great beer.
Is it as good as like the Trillium beers and that kind of thing? And
Oh, I don't even know anymore. I don't know anymore.
I think that's the right way of putting it, Jake. Honestly, I think that's exactly as it was. A couple of friends who were from Manchester, they were in New York for like 2 weeks just before Christmas, and the guest on a podcast that no one's ever fucking heard of or listened to. And I wonder what they're saying on it. And their experience of that, which is pretty much, I guess, maybe in line with my experience going to California in 2014, was they weren't discounting the great beer that was made in the UK, but they were just saying, even the you rock up X brewery that you weren't really fucking that aware of, their IPA is pretty good. So they just do it better on a whole than we do. We've got some great stuff. There's no doubt about that. But just the average, go to a brewery that you've not heard of. The
I think
IPA is
that's
really
what
good in
America's got
comparison.
over us, isn't it? We've got like notable breweries, whereas like America seems to have just really good regional high quality beer. Not that we don't have regional high quality, because there are so many great breweries throughout the UK, but
Yeah.
I'd say we're the best in Europe. Not being big-headed, but we are probably the best in Europe.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
without a doubt.
we are the closest rivals to the American
Yeah,
brewing scene, I'd say.
absolutely.
But we also have a pretty close brewing scene, whereas like in Belgium and stuff, they're not kicking out
I guess it's
New
quite
England
different.
IPA and all that sort of thing. So comparatively,
I think Germany and Belgium, you've got to extract that kind of traditional.
but we still have our
from it.
traditional aspects, don't we? We still do have
Absolutely.
the cast beer scene and all that.
Absolutely.
Although I would say, in regards to German craft beer,
But
you are
what-
getting some really notable sort of breweries who somehow manage to churn out like almost other half-esque IPAs within that sort of Reinheitsgebot.
But what I was going to say, within those kind of like, well, I'm sure I've no idea what the percentages are as well. This stuff because obviously we're living in a bubble as well, where I guess we maybe dismiss the kind of traditional British stuff, but maybe revere the German and Belgian stuff. What percentages of that of a beer drinking market, even within that weird little, because what we're drinking is nowhere near what person next door is drinking.
Mhm.
Even if they're drinking a fucking bottle of Adnams Ghost Ship, I mean, we're not even close. So, it's all about representation, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
if our kind of craft beer scene is yay big, but our broader beer thing, which would be Timothy Taylor's Landlord and Adam's Ghost Ship and Batham's Bitter and all that kind of stuff, what normal folk drink. Why did Peter disappear at this moment? It's a big question. What kind of percentages does that kind of like consume in comparison
I can still hear.
to, but in comparison to drinking great lager and wheat beer in Germany and drinking
Mhm.
traditional Belgian beer
Yeah.
in Belgium? Because I don't think they have that split. I think I'm presuming because that's what I'm involved in. I think the split of kind of craft, progressive, modern brewing takes up a bigger chunk of that ale drinking market than it does in either of those countries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's more pervasive probably over here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, but still, it might be more pervasive, but it's still very slight in terms of the overall beer market.
Go in a supermarket, go in a shitty little supermarket in Belgium, you'll get four packs of Orval and
Mhm.
Rochefort and stuff like that. That's what's in there. That's what. But then I guess what's in our supermarkets is Vocation and Gladwater and
Mhm.
Yeah,
Brewdog, and that's
It's just what their palate's used to, I suppose.
there's a lot goes into it, really. I guess availability and expectation and those are things. And that's what dictates. Dictates the market and stuff. It's I find it fascinating. It's like how tastes and trends change and how they don't and how the resistance to anything beyond that. I on Christmas Eve I had a lad in shop stroke bar when I was working. He was in with a bunch of friends and they would. And he was like, I was like, oh, so what do you know? He looked a bit lost. What do you normally drink? Carlsberg. Okay. I said, well, I said I ain't getting Carlsberg, but I'm sure we've got a nice lager for you. And he's like, oh, I don't like stuff that kind of like, don't like ale and stuff like that. I don't like taste, really like those kind of tastes. All right, okay, fair enough. And he's like, so I picked out a few bits and bats. And well, you see, but what would you say Carlsberg tastes like? And obviously, be having a bit of fun with him. And I'm like, well, infections, it's a bit farty.
metal.
But I was like, he's like, but he said what he likes about Carlsberg is that it's generic. I'm a bit like that. Just goes against everything I believe in. Everything I believe in.
Drinking it to get pissed, he's not drinking it for enjoyment.
No, but he wasn't even there for that. He was there with a group of friends who were drinking a variety of things, mainly like fruit beers and stuff like that. And we sold out a lot of old German stuff. We had the Eva in, which my mate pointed out, well, maybe that's a bit bitter. So he ended up with a can of Verdant's Italian Pilsner. Well, that's nice, clean Italian Pilsner, nice and clean. You're not going to get any kind of like, it's not going to be hoppy or anything like that. Nice and crisp. Nice and clean. But then you're like, oh, generic. I'd like something that, like generic
Happy Pills would be good.
Carlsberg taste. Like,
Would have been a good one. That would be good. It. Happy
I'm
Pills.
not being highfalutin and like egotistical, and I'm not. And I said, oh well. I said next time if we've got like take a see, Augustina. Absolutely, you should try them because I think if you like a lager, that's the best that you're gonna. Actually, I like either, but I can understand that's a strong taste for somebody who's not into those kind of flavors. But I cannot understand anybody who would not like Augustina or Tigsy House.
Yeah.
How can you not give that to a fucking any lager drinker?
Yeah.
Go, what I've been drinking for all this time is shite. And that's just a better version of.
It's strange to think that what somebody's looking for is something that's generic. I like it because it's generic.
Mental, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a strange one. Maybe like if he said consistent and he knows where he is with it and that sort of thing. But generic, to pick out generic is a different thing.
That's exactly it. But I don't know if you remember when me, you, and Craig did a thing about lagers, and which involved like a strong one from North.
Mm-hmm.
But the hoppiest one, what we perceived as the hoppiest one was Augustina.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I personally, if you give someone something of like high quality, it's like getting like a really nice brie, or a really nice cheddar, or a really nice like Rioja, or whatever it is, whatever that thing is, which is done really nicely. You just go, yeah, that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see how anyone could just like dismiss something that is just this is good.
Yeah,
there's no
you don't have to read into it more than that, do you? You don't have to pick it apart or You just go, yeah, that's good.
And it's not about having specific kind of like nuanced tastes. Like we've developed an appreciation and stuff over the years. Some stuff you just go, that's just shit hot. Yeah. And I believe anybody should have that kind of like, oh, that's nice.
Can I just throw a pretentious curve?
Go for it.
I wouldn't expect anything less, Peter.
Oh, but we've made this comment about how people can just want something generic, yet a burger is not complete without a slice of uber processed American cheese.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I see that as a condiment, though. It's more or less a condiment.
Absolutely.
At that point.
And I'd like to hear your thoughts and opinions.
That's true, because I don't want any smoked Gouda or any of that shit on there.
No,
I don't want
but exactly. But it's what's appropriate.
Nice, simple, flavourless American slice of cheese.
It's about what's appropriate in that situation.
Would you say that's generic or consistent? You know exactly what you're getting. You know what it's doing.
I say it's consistent.
I would say
because that moment when me and Peter walk into fucking Augustina's beer hall on a fucking pint of Helles on a pretzel, and it'll be the best pretzel the world's ever fucking known.
Exactly.
Exactly. So there's so many things that go into. You can be pragmatic about things, but also you can be. I think you can be completely subjective about things as well.
Yeah, if it doesn't get cancelled, I'm going to Munich in May, which I should have been going to like 2 years ago before COVID struck. So I'm going to make a beeline. As soon as I get some free time, I'm going to make a beeline.
Oh,
yes,
you should, because it's right by the train station.
Because I won't have much time. I won't have much time there because we're there for a convention. But like that, if it's the one thing I do where I escape for like a couple of hours, that's the one thing I'm doing.
Yeah, trust me, it was a revelation for me going to the beer hall and having beers like linked directly from the brewery.
Yeah.
Big barrel, just like
I don't think
into glass, and it's just like, oh.
Right, let's just
I don't think
draw
they
the attention to Adam's inflammatory
Oh, yeah.
comments. Just going on. I'm not a massive fan of Augustine. I still think Paul and Munich, but if you like licking batteries, yes, it is better. But
I mean, I
but
don't
if
have,
you,
I don't have as much of a violent opinion as Rob does because I'm joking.
come on
But
now.
Munich, the Paulaner Munich Gold it's a good lager, but it's no Augustiner. It will never be Augustiner.
That's like having like freshly grated Parmesan, and that stuff that comes in like a shaker.
But it's not Augustiner. You're right. You're right. It's not Augustiner. So,
I didn't want to make
you are
it worse. But Adam, I love you, but you're saying
No,
something
don't play around
ridiculous.
mozzarella on a burger.
Mozzarella. That's just that one is actually just incorrect. There's not many things.
Adam,
I would respect your opinion on everything else, Adam. Even I'll let you have your Paulaner, but that is incorrect about mozzarella.
love you, dude, but
Yeah. even if you said maybe if you said just like a slice of cheddar or something like that, maybe you'd get a
that's
pass.
a push.
yeah,
You'd
but
get
it-
a pass.
Cheddar is sort of
cheese.
like a
Yeah.
okay, I
Cheese.
get it. As
Yeah.
someone who loves cheddar, one of my
Yeah.
favourite cheeses.
But mozzarella on a burger. What's mozzarella doing on a burger?
Even if you're open, fucking
It should
eating
be a
your burger
salad.
in half a fork like Harry
It
Meadows.
should be in a salad.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll let
Harry.
you off,
Yeah, exactly,
salad
Craig.
chip.
Harry, yeah. Caprese salad,
Exactly.
pizza.
With a load of olive oil and some bloody olives.
And some really good tomatoes. Do you know I appreciate a fucking really good tomato. I'll actually pay good money for a good tomato.
You just
I'll
cut
hook you
your
up
slice
next
open
year.
the tomato, you get some molten sea
My
salt.
mum can cultivate you some quality tomatoes.
Yeah.
Next
Do you like
level shit.
Do you like molten sea salt?
Oh yeah,
always.
like the flaky stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
You
every day, mate.
sprinkle a bit of that on the tomatoes. So good.
Gotta be good tomatoes though.
You know, don't bite into a tomato though.
Like an apple.
It's like a whole.
Although I do want
Like
to
a
make
whole
my own
orange.
sun-dried
Like a whole
tomatoes.
orange.
That'd be good. I like it.
You slice a bit of garlic on the tomato as well.
Oh.
Get a bit of just a thinly sliced bit of garlic on the tomato as well.
Oh,
I think salt on a really good tomato is like a really good snack. I'm a big
a bit of whatever. Is
Yeah,
it?
yeah, just salt directly in my mouth.
Bit of salt on that.
Just crack an egg in a tomato. Take all the stuff out, and then put an egg in there, and then put it in the oven.
Oh, and that.
Yeah, that works.
Oh,
I saw
but yeah.
actually,
Then
Craig,
put the salt
on Facebook.
Not digging it. Not digging it.
I saw your
I don't
Facebook.
know. That sounds pretty good.
I
I saw
mean,
your
that's one
tweet.
of those things that me personally can't do it, but I appreciate how someone would absolutely love that.
You can do it with the pepper as well.
Oh yeah, pepper would be good.
Yeah.
I'm a bit more
Salt
inclined
works.
with a stuffed pepper.
I've never made a good stuffed pepper. I've tried.
me
I've never
neither.
made a good
Me
stuffed
neither.
pepper.
You mean it? One question: Do I fuck off now, or do I get a small can?
Get a small
You
can.
you get a small can. That's the only answer.
That's it. That's all the validation I required.
What have you
What
tried?
what are we gonna say? No, don't get one.
Yeah. No, Rob, go
Is
to
that a
bed.
question
Yeah.
or an
Jake, what have you tried stuffing the pepper?
inability?
You don't want to know, Rory.
Oh, okay.
You don't want to know what I tried to do. Yeah, that's why it didn't go well. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get I've got to get my charger. I'll be back in a sec.
Yeah, Craig, I saw your food on
I've got
Facebook
my box.
around Christmas.
I've got-
No?
Which one?
I'm sure you posted
Yeah.
some. Eh? Yeah, I'm sure you posted some
Which one?
pictures on Facebook, like Christmas meals.
Photos, yeah.
Yeah, it looked good. It looked really
Oh,
good.
yeah, I've done a few bits.
Instead of the small can, I got the last one. The last one. The one that was given to me at Neon Raptor.
How old is that now?
Oh, it's new
I
on
don't
me.
give a fuck.
Old.
The last can that
6
was given
months.
to me as I was walking out of Neon Raptor. No. Just fuck off.
August.
As we were walking
Yeah.
out of Neon Raptor, I spotted it in the picture.
August.
And then Dave were like, "Go on, you have it." This was the last can on Neon Raptor soil.
What
They,
the fuck?
they brewed it early August, didn't they? They brewed it early August.
No.
So
No.
they did.
4 months.
Well, I picked mine up when I was at the Nottingham Craft Beer Festival.
Okay, when was that?
So,
Early August.
August. Yeah.
Oh, it's tasting great. It's lovely. It's really.
Hang
I
on,
should
was
be
there
right.
Nottingham Craft Beer Festival before London?
No, just after. Weekend
It
after,
was
wasn't
just
it?
it was just after. It was the week after. But it was in
Wasn't
August.
London Craft
That
Beer
was your-
Festival in October? Why do I think it's October?
No, it was August, mate. It's summer.
Oh, fucking hell, I don't know
What?
where my
So when
fucking
was-
head is.
The October
So
I
one
don't know
when
why,
we
I
then?
always thought that it was October when I was in London.
No, that was the Camera Festival.
So when were we in Nottingham then?
October
September?
the
Start
15th.
September? October 15th. Oh, okay.
No, October the 15th.
There you go.
Because I couldn't go because of obvious reasons. It was that weekend, 15th of October.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, and the Craft Beer Festival was in August. Third weekend, I think.
Oh,
Something
right.
like that. 24th, 25th.
Fucking hell, I don't remember it being that long ago. Jesus. Where's the time?
Peter.
gone?
Peter, if you want a trip over to Nottingham, let me know. I'm up for that.
Yeah, you just name a date. I'll book the
It's great.
time off.
We'll contact the venerable Mr. William Ragg.
Oh yes, me too. Good old
Absolutely. But yeah,
I don't really want to go
yeah,
to
it's great.
Thornbridge
Isn't
Hill.
it? Nottingham's great. No, that's not happening. No, yeah, I saw that, and that's not happening.
Not that fast.
No, I'm not that fussed.
I'd rather
And
go to
the
Buxton.
fucking effort that it takes to get to fucking. I'm not that bothered about bit of Buxton. I'm not that fussed anymore. And I'm not that. I've got a mate at Thornbridge, but
I've been to Fallbridge a couple of
Yeah.
times, and it's okay, but they never have anything. I've been twice, and they've never had anything like crazy on. They never have like anything different that what you they don't have like specials there or anything. It's a bit of a strange one, really. But it is a quite nice place to go. But if you're there, if you're in Bakewell, you might as well go there. But I wouldn't make a special trip for it.
no. What
I'd
Raggy
rather
used to
have-
do.
I'd rather have some tarts. Rather have some tarts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
me
get a lot of
too.
those in Bakewell.
They call it pudding over there, not it's pudding. But
You can't
in
have your
that
cake
sense,
and eat it.
I'd say Raggy would be better off. Like London, well, maybe he won't like London actually, but it might be a bit much, be a bit full on. But Leeds, I think he'd have a good time in Leeds. I think he'd love Sheffield. Loads of cats.
Yeah, I think Raggy would love Sheffield. Yeah.
So you've been to Sheffield, Peter. You know what it's like.
Yeah.
Couple of breweries, lots of lovely pubs. I think he'd love Sheffield. You're direct from Nottingham as well. I mean, you kind of think Sheffield.
Yeah.
You have a fucking plenty of Thornbridge in Sheffield if you go to the right pubs. Much better than at
I
Brewery.
mean, that being said, Raggy does love Thornbridge, so it makes
Oh
sense.
yeah, if you
that
want,
he
if you want
wants
to, if you want to go.
But
He subscribes to their thing, you know, to their monthly.
No, he got the Christmas advent calendar, didn't he?
Oh, right.
I mean, it's a nice place. I mean, it's huge. It's big. It's big. They take over that whole industrial estate there.
It's a fucking pain in the ass to get to. It's in the
Yeah.
arse end of nowhere.
There's nothing else about it really. I've only been when I've been to Bakewell,
No.
and it's
Yeah.
They used to
Well
be a great
said.
brewery, didn't they? Like 10 years ago. Look.
I think they still are a really good brewery. I think they still are like a decent brewery, but it's
Yeah,
just
they
they are what they are. They're the size they are. They're almost got that family brewery thing about them now. It's they've got that sort of regional family brewery thing about them.
Yeah.
That's the level they've got to.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I
they used to
completely
be
agree.
quite
That's good.
Their red ale's really good.
I can't remember what I had when I went there previously, but I remember liking their cask stuff more than I had like a raspberry version of one of their imperial stouts, and it was like sour. It was like it just wasn't for me. I can't remember what it was now, but it just had this real sour tinge to it, and I was like, I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, but it doesn't taste very good.
Their sour beers are quite good, aren't they? Like, love them on the.
Yeah, Lumen Ruins, yeah.
I've not managed
Good
to
stuff.
try that yet.
They just don't churn them out though, do
2
they?
bottles.
That I think they're still selling the same batch of bottles, aren't they?
Oh,
Yeah.
I've got a couple of bottles. Yeah, it's good beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a funny old situation in that sense. It's yeah, just thinking about that, like how people navigate themselves around the UK and places to go and best use of like your opportunities and stuff. It's a funny one. It's a funny one to figure out in a lot of ways. It's like because I never want to go to Thornbridge. I've got no interest. But what Jake says completely backs it up. It's like it'll be just all that. I can go to Sheffield Tap and have like 45% of everything there. I can go like 10 minutes on tram to Allamshire and have a fucking have like 12 lines.
Yeah, we could go to the Banker's Cat in Leeds.
Well, exactly.
Have a load of
yeah.
Thornbridge, yeah.
Because it's not this like it's not this unique, curious thing. It's just it's a widely
being
produced
said-
product which will be okay in a variety of decent places. I guess that's
Even
it.
in Liverpool, there was a place that me, Adam, and Harry went to, and they had like an Imperial Thornbridge on tap.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can't remember what it was, and they had a few other Thornbridge beers that you don't rarely see.
Okay.
So I think they're spread out. They've got obviously a lot of people buying, not just the like Jai
Like a lot,
Paul
yeah.
and stuff
Yeah.
and James
Well,
Town.
Well, when I went to Leeds, like in October, we went to the Banker's Cat just to give it a go, and it was good. I mean, they had a one of the guest beers was a sour from Beak on there, so it's not just like Thornbridge stuff. It's like there's other stuff on sort of the guest lines. But I had that American brown ale that they did. That was really good. I can't. It was a collab brew, but I can't remember who they collabed with now.
Thornbridge one.
Yeah,
I've had some great brown ale from Thornbridge in the past.
yeah.
but
That was probably one of the better beers I had that night. That whole night was that American brown ale from them. It was really good. Just can't remember who they collabed with now.
What's that? It's a pub in Manchester called something Cat.
Oh,
Where?
like Saddler's
Manchester
Cat or
Cat.
something.
Is it called Kill the Cat or something? Or
Where?
That's in London.
Manchester?
But bottle shop in London.
That's in London.
No, I
Manchester.
know what
Manchester,
Rob's
yeah.
talking about. It
Saddler's.
used to be called.
Sadler's Cat.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
It was
Saddler's Cat.
Is
yeah.
that any good?
Used to be called Phil Crow, didn't it?
Yeah, it was always really
I never
massively
liked it in
overpriced. I never
Yeah,
liked it.
never
either.
liked it in there.
And Paul from Cloudwater partly owned it. Yeah, with Chapo owned another bunch of places, and yeah, it's a great location. It's right next to the train
Oh, yeah.
station, but it's always a lot. It was massively priced, and
Yeah.
service was fucking atrocious and stuff in there.
Because
It's
the
like
guy
everything it shouldn't
owns
be.
Common as well, doesn't he?
I don't know. So Johnny who owned Port Street. I think I thought he owned Common, but I was told different. But I heard that whoever was selling Port Street. So, but then Port Street's not. It's not what it used to be.
Nah.
It had its moment, and as just like North Bar in Leeds, they were kind of important. I mean, inevitably you'll find yourself at some point in history where you're not the most important place anymore, and you'll be superseded, and that's fine.
Yeah, but ironically, keeping with the Thornbridge theme, randomly, before I knew who he was, Paul from Cloudwater was just stood at the bar. I was looking at the menu, and he was like, "Hey, guy, that Thornbridge beer is really nice."
Hey, what?
Cheers,
Hey
bro.
guy, hey
think I
guy.
remember it was a stout. It was a stout, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
I think I remember you talking about this at the time.
Yeah.
Is that
That-
guy?
That's why I said that like Steve Buscemi meme. It's like, hey fellow kids. What is that holding the skateboard?
That's very Paul. See, I knew Paul pre Cloudwater. I thought he was Will Frank's boyfriend, but neither of them are gay. I saw him a few places. I can completely. I remember sitting in Grove and Huddersfield with Paul and Frank, and just having a chat, and being a bit like, huh, yeah. There's a it's a certain personality type who has a very confident in a lot of ways, which kind of instills you with a certain level of like, maybe I believe what you say.
Yeah, it's like a self assuredness, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very self assured.
That's it.
Yeah. Because I remember him being lovely at the Humus Lupulus thing.
Yeah.
And like pouring beers, and I don't know what Cloudwater version it was that he was pouring. I can't remember what one it was. Yeah, and being like, and he was really engaging about it, and sort of sitting down at tables with people and all that sort of thing. And it's just one of those people.
Simon, though?
No.
It was very clear that he didn't want to touch Simon.
Yeah.
Honestly. And Simon's unhappy about that until this day. Yeah, do it touch Simon about it.
I always remember I had the conversation that sticks in my head with Simon at that Humus Lupulus event was he just couldn't comprehend that I only did one video a week. It's just like, what? It's just but how are you going to grow? What you get and I was like, well, it's not particularly why I'm doing it. It's just like you can't just do one a week. You got to do more than one a week. I was like, well, that's all I can do. That's all I want to do, and I don't even do that. Yeah, that sticks out. That's before I got absolutely wankered.
Remember you did it.
I'm going to show you. You got a company.
Who said that? Simon.
I remember you were doing a
Simon.
you were doing a review together. And Simon did a tasting note, and you goes, "I said that before."
Yeah. Did I get away with it then?
Was it the
Oh, was It was it was Jack brought a bottle of Free Floyd's.
Yeah.
Infected bottle of Dark Lord.
Yeah.
I think he looked at you like, and you said, "That's what I said before."
Yeah.
That was my tip.
Did you say chocolate coffee caramel?
Yeah. I said, yeah, fleshy blood orange, and then that was it.
Got no to go on after that.
I think I said balsamic vinegar from what I
Somebody-
remember.
that was it.
Balsamic vinegar, yeah. Oh, an insightful comment there.
As says extra pressure tomatoes on the vine. In appliance as a double chef's kiss, apparently.
God, that sounds wank as
I,
fuck.
I always like to put a put a Russian spam bot between Adam and
A Liverpool standard, is it?
well, the weekend at spam, but I really don't because it's in a field and it'd be muddy and fuck that shit.
I would love to go to. I would
meant
really
to
love
go
to go
last
to like a
weekend,
beer
last year,
Yeah.
but
a beer festival, as in a festival that has beer. I'd love to
like
do that.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, I'd love to do one because like I love festivals. I haven't been to one in years.
Hey,
But-
we could do a beer tube
Oh, I'd love it.
live Q&A.
oh, like let's
I'd
go
love
to the
it.
craft beer channel, craft beer, and piggyback their success.
On a live stage. Like,
Reading Festival's good next year. This year.
what's that?
It's got Reading Festivals. It's got Rage Against the Machine.
Oh,
Yeah.
what do you mean a band that actually uses guitars?
Yeah.
Oh, novel.
Some good- So that angry group.
Oh, they're angry. They're angry. Those Rage Against the Machine boys.
Fucking.
Angry.
Because so there's Bigfoot, there's Peekender, and there's the Fine Fest. I think I'd rather go to Fine Fest.
It's too fucking far away from anywhere.
I know it's like a
Anywhere
little
near
holiday though.
civilization. Hey, Jake, you could get to California quicker than you get to fucking Hawaii.
That is true. And probably on the train, it would be cheaper to go to California.
My friend asked me if I wanted to go to an Iron Brew Festival the other day.
Iron Brew Festival.
Yeah.
Fine,
In Scotland.
you got to camp and shit. Fuck.
Oh,
Is that just like in a council flat in
Yeah.
Aberdeen or something?
there's free heroin. And-
Hey, come here.
As you went to.
It's the Iron Brew Festival.
Hey laddie, you coming here?
You can't come in, you've got no wristband.
Wristband is track marks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got no heroin marks.
Have you got your note from job seekers? You can't come in then, I'm sorry.
That's a very much Edinburgh accent that you've done.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not very good at a Scottish accent. I can't do it.
Edinburgh is very specifically different. Edinburgh is very British.
It's got that little
It is,
posh
yeah.
twang to it.
It's got a little bit. Yeah, Peter did a really good job of the Edinburgh accent there.
It's sort of like a posh
It's kind of like
Yeah.
accent.
Yeah, it's quite. Yeah, it is. It is. It's still ace. Go to Edinburgh. Have fun time. Drink loads of fine Jarl until you get really bored of how bitter it is. A great pub called Katie's Bar. Amazing place. Wonderful.
Nice
Too much
week.
Jarl.
Go there. Yeah, but then they had a load of whiskies and they had like cobs on the bar for like £1.50 a pop and a roaring fire. It was just wonderful. It's the kind of place that if you live nearby, you had no else to do. You'd happily. I would fucking go there every day and sit there and be happy and chat to people who were just knocking around. And if not, I'd just sit there and fuck around on your phone or read a book or whatever. It's one of the most perfect pubs ever. Because it might get busy, but like Wednesday afternoon at 1:30, there were like 4 people in there, and they were all chatting. Well, half of them were chatting, the other 2 were chatting to other people. Half of people had bought a sandwich off the bar for £1.50 a pop, with a big chunk of fucking brie in it, or a big lump of fucking meat in it. Something. It was just so beautifully done, and it had been there. It had been there forever, for a variety of uses. And it's I said great whiskey selection. They had like a dram of the month, and they had like 4 cask ales on, and I think there were like 3 keg beers. One of them was from Stewart's, so I'm sure it was drinkable. But just proper kind of neighbourhood pub, like the perfect neighbourhood pub. If you lived there, you'd be like, this place. If you bought a house there, if you had fucking like £4 million to buy a house in the centre of Edinburgh, you walked in there and you liked that kind of thing, you'd be like, this is fucking perfect. Yeah, if you lived there, any of you, walked in there on a Tuesday afternoon, and you'd be like, this is ace. You get a friendly welcome, not over the top. All right, how you doing? Right, Peter, how you doing? Yeah, pretty good.
How are you doing? I'm doing
Back your ass. Read your book if you want. If you want to stand at the bar, have a chin wag. I mean, it was near on perfect, and there's very few places, but you can kind of say that.
Was nice places to eat there, or
Craig's in the basement, I think.
Yeah.
By the way,
Oh, is it?
Thumbs up.
I'll keep it in the basement.
It's got
I
a groggy face.
was on one. Sorry, Craig.
That pub,
Yeah.
by the way, Rob, kind of sounds like the Southampton Arms in London.
It kind of is, but not as pretentious. Not as London.
No.
I loved that pub.
Southampton Arms
pub.
is a fucking good pub. It is a really good pub.
One of the pubs in the country.
Yeah, you got to admit though, it's not as pretentious as other fucking places in London though.
go on a Thursday afternoon. It's great. I'm sure if you go on a Saturday night, it's not the same place.
I really want to pick up
Southampton Arms.
Yeah, Southampton Arms is a chef's kiss of a.
Southampton Arms is great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to send you pictures of this place in Edinburgh. But yeah, it's it's character, and I mean earlier on we were saying I know there's only me and Peter who've been there, but I think City Arms in Manchester has a similar appeal. It's
I was thinking exactly that's
you
exactly
can't
what it
deny
sounded like.
it is what it is what it is. It's quality, it's character. It's been there forever. I mean, I'm sure that Jake and Rory and Craig have got places in their areas where you just go and go, yeah, it's not got like snazzy beer on it, but it's special and it's consistent and it's kind of lovable in a lot of ways.
I've got Barley Mow in Bristol. Was not that great.
Yeah, and we had a fun afternoon in Ballymoor.
Yeah.
We had a cracking afternoon in Ballymoor.
Yeah, was that the one where they're all spaced out?
Yeah,
yeah, they were all.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. No, I enjoyed that.
We had a cracking afternoon in Ballymoor.
Anyway, I've got work tomorrow.
You got work today, you mean?
Today, yeah.
You got work later on.
Got to work in the live long day.
Yeah, you working bank holiday?
Yeah, and I've got to get a taxi home, which is going to cost me £36.
Fucking hell!
What?
Yeah, yeah. I work in Gloucester. It's a bank holiday Monday today, innit?
Oh, because it's bank holiday.
So, yeah, I finish at 8, and the last bus on the back to Mitchell Dean, where I live, is at 10 to 7. So I've got to get a taxi home.
That's really
Cut.
shit.
Yeah, that's fucking
Yeah.
awful.
Walking.
Quite frankly, that's terrible.
I had to get a taxi home for 36 on Friday as well.
Shit.
It's a crazy world we live in. Like like the more you think about it, jobs are fucking weird. Just any sort of job is just weird.
Yeah.
Like when you actually boil it down to think why you're doing it, it's just weird. If you think about it too much, it could really turn you insane.
Yeah.
I
And
completely
you have to
agree.
use a good portion of your wage just to get home.
Just to get home, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes
You'd
it's like
think
what
that
you
they'd
actually being
cover
paid
it
for.
or give you
Are you
something.
fucking there?
That's
It's
ridiculous.
a head scratcher.
I know. I'm on that.
Don't want moan too much.
Just to try and
back
nick
on
30,
fucking window.
36 quid from the till.
Rory's just gonna put his arms at one end of one shelf.
They should fucking let you
Walk
go
down.
early.
They won't because they're cunts.
Yeah.
Well, they should. Well, you should talk to them. Honestly, you should talk to them about it.
I have tried.
Honestly,
Oh, it's going all in. Craig's chucking it all in.
you should talk to them about it. It's like if the people who could be there after you have to leave.
They're
I'm
after
sure
it.
they can do everything that you need to do.
Yeah.
And for them to understand that they don't have to pay you for the last 2 hours,
Yeah.
and it will save you 36 quid.
Yeah.
If
They're
I
arguing-
was your manager, Rory, that would be a fucking no-brainer. I'd be
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's all right. We're not going to be busy. It's all right. We don't need you. We won't pay you.
Yeah.
And you can go over. You don't cost you 36 quid. It's
Yeah.
a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. Maybe your manager's a fucking idiot. Maybe sometimes it's worth just having that conversation. I'd say
I'll ask him.
just sit him down and go. Do you know? Well, do you need me by this point? Because if I leave at this point, it's going to cost me X amount of money. But if you need me, that's fine.
Like my uncle died on Christmas Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I asked him. I go, his funeral's going to be probably like at the end of the month because it's a busy month this month. So the funeral's going to be like maybe probably the end of the month. So can I have that day off? And he goes, oh, you're going to have to book it off.
Yeah.
But we can't guarantee it off. We can't guarantee it off. You'll have to book it off and see if we can fit you in, kind of thing.
That's a
You
fucking joke, really.
Don't you get compassionate leave?
He's not very compassionate, my manager.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, the pressures of yeah.
You don't ask for them days off. You tell them you're not going to be there.
Yeah.
It's the pressures of it all as well, though, isn't it? Like fucking, there's like before the fucking COVID shit. If you had a cold or whatever, and all that sort of thing, you'd still go in, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
There's no thinking like, oh, actually, I could make lots of other people ill, or maybe I should have gone to the doctors and all that. Like COVID's made me reevaluate all that sort of shit. There's actually no, if I'm not feeling well or whatever, then I've got days supposed to be allocated and all that sort of shit.
Right now, 50% of people who have got common cold symptoms will have Omicron.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. 50%. If you got a cold,
it's probably more than that.
You got Omicron.
Mm-hmm. Probably, yeah.
It's 2 and 3.
Like I say, like most people, it's so it like gets from person to person so quickly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like most people will get it in the country.
Yeah. I found a guy on YouTube, which is not always the best source, but he has been on like on national news and stuff. But he all he does is he breaks down information.
Is that the doctor with the really short hair.
He lives in Carlisle.
Yeah, kind of bald.
He lives in
He's
Carlisle.
great because he
lives in
offers kind
Carlisle.
of like some
He lives in
positivity.
Carlisle.
Yeah, he's great. He's fucking brilliant because he says because his information is based
Yeah.
on
I
data.
put Peter on. I put Peter onto it.
I think he's
Because he's
great.
like he's teaching nurse, isn't he?
Oh, is he? Oh, the thing is, someone who's been really right. I'm gonna be mean to a certain subject. No one is watching who would believe this anyway. So, he's giving you real information.
Yeah.
And
What's he saying?
sadly, there's certain parts of society just do not respond to kind of rational, kind of reasoned thought,
Yeah, Rob.
and need to be fucking slapped around the chops. He's brilliant. Yeah, that's the one. That's John Campbell. There you go. He's brilliant. Check him out. And they need to be forced into situations, and they need to be absolutely correct. They need to be subjugated and stuff because they won't do what they're told. But if you're a rational thinking human being, someone like him, I think, gives you a bit of hope because it's considered and he's breaking down information based on facts and figures and data.
Real
situations.
facts.
Some ridiculous situations where it's like, well, Sanjay Javed said this the other day, and essentially, well, that's not true because 2 days ago we were told this. Because it's like
but it's against our own government.
Experienced medical expert. He's a fucking idiot. The people who we're talking to us the most of the time, and not Chris Whitty. Fucking God bless him.
Go-to source for information. He's my go-to.
So what is this guy saying? Is it saying that
he's my go-to? That
the Omicron isn't as dangerous as what people are saying, or
no? Well, he presents it as the fact that it's all very practical. It's not kind of like YouTube can be a haven for kind of crackpots and kind of fake news and bullshit, but he's been on loads of news stuff. He's been on loads of
he's good.
TV programs, and it's all he does is break it down, saying, well, this means this, and this means that, and this means this. And he underlines shit. It's like, what's the important things we're talking about today? And obviously referencing South Africa, because
no one's started.
We're like 4 weeks behind South Africa.
But
so,
that's what.
They've had a load of people had that Omicron, but no one's died, have they? Like no one's died any.
Well, therein lies the situation, isn't it? But it's about information and about understanding of information.
They got more natural immunity. They got more natural immunity in South Africa than we have, though. That's the thing, because they haven't got the vaccines. Over here, it's vaccines.
This is a really interesting situation. I was watching this earlier. So, Omnicom, it gives you. I'm going to get chucked off YouTube for this. It gives you immunity to Delta, but not the other way around.
Oh fuck! Well, I'm fucked then because I've had Delta.
But
Omicron
you'll get this
a lot more contagious and spreadable, but it's not as.
I've had my three jabs and I've had Delta. So what's my chances of getting Omicron?
Well, basically, Jake,
pretty much 100%.
You're a corporate shell.
Yeah,
pretty much 100%. We're all gonna get it.
It's crazy, isn't it? Though it's just crazy. It's just what a weird world we live in. We're living in stuff that's going to be in textbooks.
But Jake, you'll feel rough for like a day and a half.
Yeah,
you'll have a bit of a cold for a day and a half. That'll be it, tops.
I'm not worried.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about it. I've had
I'm
my
even like,
booster, but then I've
excuse me,
also had
I'm
TB
coughing
in the
because I
past, and
need a
it's
drink.
killed me.
Yeah, my younger
Do
brother
you know what I mean?
got.
Yeah.
I was in hospital for 3 weeks. I was in hospital for 3 weeks with TB, so
Mhm.
I was on the edge. So I'm not as worried about this
Yeah.
as I was having TB. So
See, my brother tested positive with PCR test earlier this week, and I felt like shit for the past 2 days. I feel much better now, although I had like a negative test. It's just a lateral flow, so I'm in a position where I don't know if I've recently experienced this new strain, or if it could have been just sort of like a common winter cold that I've experienced.
As I said, 50% of people who have cold-like symptoms will have Omicron.
Yeah. I mean, luckily for me, I'm working from home,
The
so I've
trouble-
got no
and-
real chance of spreading a potential.
But also,
strain.
The thing,
whatever you
another
think,
another
but you're a
thing-
relatively healthy man.
I mean,
You're
another
healthy.
thing with this. Another thing with this is though, the symptoms of. I mean, under Delta, they changed from the original strain, but the government never actually updated their website for almost 2 years.
Mhm.
It's ridiculous. So
I think
Just the
if you were
fucking
going to
useless.
get
the
COVID,
amnesia with
now
loss
is
of
the
taste
time
and
to
smell.
get COVID.
Good night.
See ya.
See you, Rory.
Yeah.
Hi, Rory.
Yeah, I'd rather
Yeah.
it in the winter than the summer.
Get COVID. You'll be fine.
But because when I had the Delta, well, I assume it was the Delta one that I had, because that was what I was knocking about. That wasn't nice, and I'd already had one jab, and I'm a relatively healthy person, and
healthy.
that really wasn't fucking good. Like I could see what, like, I mean, like when I had
No.
the first really night where I was like, oh shit, I've got it. I was shaking all over, like I couldn't stop convulsing. And that's not been a symptom. Like that sort of fever has not been a symptom of it. I mean, I was violently shaking, and I've never done that in my life.
Yeah.
And I was fucking scared. I was like in my bed, like my missus said it was like fucking like being on a boat, because I was like fucking like I had such a fever. I've never had a fever like that.
Really.
Yeah, that was
That's
shocking.
it. But you're a young man. I mean,
Yeah.
shit happen.
Yeah. Exactly. And so if like someone who does have other conditions and stuff, like I can see why I just knock you. And actually, I think I got off quite lightly, because that was the worst of it. Sorry, Craig, missed that.
Yeah. No, I was just saying. I'm part of. I've been in it for probably over a year now. The Zoe Tracker System app, which is really damn good. Which is King's College in London. There's an app you can follow, which he always. I got it off what's the name? Really good. And you put your symptoms in every day, or no symptoms. Put your jabs in when you've had your, a lateral flow test, and put it all into a system that's free for everyone to use, which is they're going to get, and anything like that. It's really, really, it's worth checking out. So if you follow Dr. John, which I do for,
You should.
as I say, getting on for 2 years now. It's definitely. He's really. You should follow him, and then you'll get loads of info. I follow him. Like,
He's a
my
really
main
kind of
source
like.
for info. The
He's a
mainstream
real
media
kind of
seems
like.
to be very.
Absolutely. He's a real kind of like.
He's a professional. He's good. He's so
Yeah.
good.
And it's. The thing
I think I put Peter onto him quite a while back.
The thing is with like information and stuff, like, you kind of led to believe that kind of mainstream media is the kind of like what's the information that you should kind of like pay attention to. And if you think that's not, expect that you're fucking going to be like a potential guest on a Joe Rogan podcast or something. I mean, but that's not true. I think there is actually, because I completely believe that how I've got a really good idea of how mainstream media conducts itself and stuff, and the purposes and the use of that is a very specific thing in that, and I don't think that kind of like applies to me personally, because I'd like to think I'm a bit more of a considered thinker than. I don't need to be told. I don't need to be told stay home because there's gonna be. I'm gonna die if I don't go. If I don't stay home, I'll stay at fucking home. And so it's good to have important information and practical information and pragmatic thought and stuff like that. And I think the chap on YouTube, which is shit because it's like, oh, some man on YouTube told me this, which I don't think. I think completely discredits him because I think he's one of the few people who breaks down shit. Because someone like Chris Whitty, who is working really hard in a really massively stressful situation, hasn't got the opportunity to be as
and it's so politicized. It's so politicized.
Exactly. He can't, and I think this guy has the opportunity to stand. He can absorb information, step back, and analyze it, and that's where you actually get true information.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what people want. People want something. People want hope because there's always hope.
He's got
no agenda.
And the good thing about him is
no
he's got
agenda
contacts
at
from
all.
all around the world.
Yeah,
he's got contacts from all around the world. And he was talking to a physician in Iran the other day for about an hour or so. That was really quite a good listen, I thought. So yeah, but no, he says things, and then about 4 weeks later, the mainstream media get onto it and say kind of a bit of the same sort of thing. He's really ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
So
for me, it's because I don't think.
But he always lists his links. He's like, "Don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. Check out for yourself. The links are down below."
He always
it's
cites
all
surveys.
Cites as sources, which is what any good professor or researcher or anything does, isn't it? They don't do it off their own back. They do it because they've actually read the research.
Things where if they're wrong and then they're proven wrong,
it's evidence-based.
They'll
evidence-based.
say,
evidence-based.
That's science.
Science
has to be wrong at one point.
Because
that's how you evolve.
But the shitty situation for me is that if you tell, if everybody was like listening to his message,
if he's wrong,
then he's not right. He's really not wrong. He's really not wrong. He can't be wrong.
No, but that's the whole point. It's like sometimes information at that time can be deemed correct, but it can be proven slightly wrong a few weeks down the line.
But for me,
that's the good thing. If you can present new evidence that might have slightly changed your opinion, I think that's a healthy.
See, I think for me, I think it's more to do with like what the mass populace requires. I think if you say if you tell people that it's not a problem, it's a bit like a cold, they'll just go. They won't take any notice of that, and they'll just crack on, and they'll just act massively responsibly. So you've got to fucking hit them over the head with the big fucking COVID hammer. And that's what happens, and that's why, upsettingly, pubs were empty on like New Year's Eve, as they wouldn't have normally be, which is great because you stop mass gatherings and stuff like that. Because people just won't listen. I mean, we are a fucking we're a fucking bubble within a bubble within a bubble within a bubble.
Yeah.
Well,
but most people, sadly, will not listen to.
but
rational thought.
and also, but it's not even the rational thought thing. Our own government, who are supposed to be the leaders, who's supposed to be guiding us through this thing, can't do it them
Useless.
fuck themselves. So, like, I don't want to listen to anything they've got to say.
Me
I don't
neither.
want to follow. I followed their advice for all of that stuff during the start of the pandemic and all that sort of thing, and it's seemingly for nothing.
Yeah. See, that's the whole thing with.
Yeah. So it's the whole
this.
political aspect of
Yeah.
it is just fucking awful. That's
like-
the shit show of it.
Because you're going to get a lot of people are thinking, well, they obviously don't deem this as serious.
Yeah.
As they're telling us that it is. So why should we? Yeah, I'll sit outside with a suit and a cheese board. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I'll have my
all the
business
precautions
meeting.
You need.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's like, how can you as a populace like adhere to what they're telling you to do when those same people have like rationalized it as like, well, we don't need to worry, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all those restrictions they put in place, and now they've got restrictions in place, but we're having the largest numbers of infections since the pandemic began, and all this.
Because this current strain is massively infectious.
Yeah. But was the other one not?
Not as much.
So why did we have restrictions then?
It was a lot more deadly.
Because it's much more dangerous.
Not as infectious. This new strain is much more infectious, but not as deadly in the long run.
Yeah. You need to watch that fucking guy on YouTube. No,
Yeah.
It kind of it's more in the upper respiratory system than in the lungs and stuff. It's fascinating. Yeah,
well, because funnily enough, my little boy, he just before Christmas, yeah, that sort of week leading up to Christmas, he was really, really quite poorly, and we didn't take it. We rang 111 and all that sort of stuff, and we went through this whole string of people ringing us back, and then we finally got to talk to an actual doctor. And he was saying it sounds like it's got an upper respiratory condition, but we'd done a PCR, we'd done an LFT, and they're both negative. But he was like saying, like, still don't be complacent. He was like, because that's what COVID is. It's an upper respiratory condition. So like you've got. And
we live with multiple COVID coronaviruses every year.
Yeah. Yeah.
This will just become another coronavirus.
Yeah.
Ultimately, that's what it'll be.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
but in terms of restrictions,
who designed this in the first place, and they can tell us how it all works.
Yeah. Yeah. But in terms of like restrictions, I'll just do what I think is safe. Like that's what it's going to be. I'm not going to be guided by the fucking government anymore. Well, it's got beyond that now.
It's got to that point now where you've got to use your common sense.
Which is what we've done all throughout. I almost feel like I've been robbed of a couple of years because it was just too strict, and like we followed to let when other people didn't and stuff. And yeah, I don't know. It's a crazy thing.
Yeah,
but fuck the Tories. As Rob's not here.
I'm really interested
on his channel.
I'm interested. I know it's like deadly and stuff, and it's been terrible. It's still, it's literally running our lives. It's above government level, really, if that makes sense. So
I think
we're living through
kind of things,
part of history, really.
Yeah, this is the time where
you can't help but not be. Well, I know it pisses people off. Sorry, I keep talking over you because the fucking.
It's right. It's just lag.
It's fine. This, in the grand scheme of things, is the perfect time.
I hate to
get COVID.
So go licking people in the supermarkets.
Each other's mouths, share cups.
It could be because the awful thing. The awful thing is, obviously, Yeah. Any sort of death is awful in any respect to any
Oh, yeah.
family. But like the thing that gets me and hits me quite hard is the people who aren't getting treatment for other illnesses and all this because because of the hospitals and everything are overrun, and there's people missing out on cancer treatments and all this horrible and I saw a statistic. I can't. I saw a statistic about what they think the amount of undiagnosed cancer like prognoses are, and it's just like crazy. That people that have cancer, they don't even know it, and they won't know it for ages because they don't want to go to the doctors and stuff. That's the awful
it's
thing.
Like one of those things. It's like I'd rather take that risk, like another health condition,
damage,
and then potentially deal with
it's
COVID.
just terrible.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But the amount, it's just like as you can like dumb it down to like just someone finds a lump, and they think, oh, but the hospital's going to be overrun.
Yeah.
Just like those very
or I won't call my GP because I know I won't get an appointment.
Yeah. Like those
I know I
very,
won't get an
like,
appointment.
Specific situations where someone's like, "Oh God, what's this?" Or I coughed up blood this morning, but in the back of their mind, they're like, "Yeah, but I don't really want to get.
I do that.
I want to get this fixed, but I know it's not going to get fixed."
Right.
Or they've got their own sort of like fears. And it's just awful. But if I was in that situation, I'd be like, yeah, there's a chance that I might pick something up, but I want to get this sorted. I feel like shit right now.
Yeah, I think a lot of it falls down to the whole sort of almost British mentality of I know I won't get an appointment at the GP, so I'm not going to ring him. It's like I'm not going to.
Them at 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I didn't get through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like keep trying, just keep trying.
Yeah, and then there's no appointment, so you have to call tomorrow. Yay.
And it's like one of those weird situations where like wouldn't make any difference if you went private.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just a very, very strange.
Well, it just cost you more.
Confusing, scary time.
It's weird. It's definitely weird.
Good.
Yeah.
Well,
and all of a sudden we're in 2022.
Yeah.
In the blink of an eye.
We're still dealing with this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're living in the future. We're living in the future. We're living in the future, man.
Living in the box. And we're living in the car park box.
Yeah.
And on that bombshell.
Yeah, I'm getting very tired now. There's a shirt bag of Walker's cheese and onion crisps screaming my name.
What about this bombshell? Oh, that wasn't a loud fart.
Oh,
I'm very disappointed. It was a quiet one.
I think Peter's cheese and onion. Yeah, you can fucking know the score. Stinkiest crisps around.
Oh yeah. Get those.
Another bombshell. Cheese and onion.
Boom,
Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Big dicks in your ass about for your health. Boom!